Like, what are you doing? Oh my
Let's
goodness.
see. Might be a
Oh,
tad too much light. Oh, that's why. Hold up.
catching this crow. Yes, yes, you are. Hello, everyone. Hello. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Appreciate people that waited in the chat. Evidently, winners get to wait in the chat. Minnie is one. Did you see that? Mm, nice. So I'm ready today. Are you? Check this out.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Oh man, that's a nice shirt. Look at that. That is so cool.
One of two.
Is that for a giveaway?
No, no, no.
All
I
right.
asked, I asked our boy Jake Rubin. I asked him if he would hook me up with this shirt, and I didn't think it was gonna arrive because the hurricane and everything. And when we
Right.
ordered it, it was gonna. I think it was gonna come a little bit late, and it said it was projected for Sunday. And I was like, oh well, it won't happen. But it came. I was so
Let's
happy.
see. I'm gonna try to spin my table around. Give me a second.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. How is everyone doing tonight? Thank you, Plasty. Yes, nice shirt, nice shirt. Look at that, it's got a little logo and everything. Mm. So this show's getting a nice casual start because I'm pretty sure, just like
There.
everybody
That way I
else,
won't be knocking shit
so much
loose.
stuff has been happening today. So we'll just go through this really quick, and then we'll do our intro, and then we're good. How's everyone doing today? Good,
Oh,
good.
we're already live, man. I thought we were just us two. Here I am just moving shit around.
Well, I was late because I was like, can you stop making the dogs bark, please? Mm, yeah, yeah. So thank you everyone who's in here right now. I appreciate it. I know you guys could be watching some of the stuff that's going on with. I think they're still doing announcements. I'm not too sure, but let's timestamp this. You ready? You ready? Here we go. Here we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Paige. His name is Jason, and welcome to episode 79 of the Hangout, where we give you positive insight into the world of collecting in a very chilled and relaxed atmosphere.
Oh, there are the comments. Hi, hey everyone. I had no clue what the hell was going on. No, I just kind of was like private chat, and I was like, no one's in here. And then, oh, look, we're all there. Paul
Mm-hmm.
Johnson, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
This
That's
has
the
been
look
a
on my
little bit of
face
an
right now. I'm
adventure.
so excited. All right, thanks, Carl. That's awesome. Yeah, Carl sent me a message. He says, "Hey, he says you're back on the Hangout." He says it's like the Beatles reuniting. I was like, let's chill on that a little.
Whoa, whoa, easy, easy. It's like the Beatles.
Oh,
Mm. So, really quick. Uh,
we have to address your shirt. Obviously, this is awesome. That's a great looking shirt.
yeah, yeah. So, like I said, Jake hooked me up with this shirt, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I gotta remember, see, I'm still used to this. Camera's this way. Thank you very much, Jake. I really appreciate it, man. Love it. It feels good. I like the material. You chose a good one. And this is his. Let me take down Paul's comment here. This is the one that he did.
Look at that.
That is so badass, bro. And like I said, one of two. So he was kind enough to send me that one, and then
What's
I
up,
didn't
Trevor?
know. So
That one's awesome too. Black's
yeah,
more my
nice.
color. Gray makes me look weird. Anyway,
Well, yeah.
there's a comment that says, "Can you all see the show?" I don't know. Is it because we're not? Are we? Or is everything all right? It should be all right.
I don't know. It should be. Yeah, should be.
All right. So that
Yeah.
must be. Is that Z? Yeah.
Mhm. So really quick, a little bit of show foreplay before we get into this because there's so much ground to cover today. Oh my God, man! Did you watch? You been watching? Did you watch today or
Watch what? PulseCon?
all of it? There was just so much stuff happening. I felt
No,
like I was getting pulled in different
I was
directions.
painting. I was painting a bedroom today. So
Oh,
I got a bunch of messages. Here and there. You sent me a couple of messages. I talked to Trevor this morning as well. I was talking to Carl in and out. I was talking to Sharif as well. So
hmm,
yeah, I mean, I got the news here and there. I checked out the stories a little bit. I wanted to make sure at the top of the hour that I was going to be, I wanted to see what the reveals were for RumbleCon because I like Rumble Society. So But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I wasn't glued. I was actually just like, I just got out of the shower and, you know, I was full of paint. I don't know if I still have some in my beard, but anyway, yeah, it was looking a little weird for a minute.
Man, there was just so much. I just felt like I was getting pushed like everywhere, man. But before we get into all of that stuff, a little bit of show foreplay. So just so everyone knows, obviously, they are going to be charging for the Golden Age Cape Crusader Batman. That's going to be on October 3rd. So what is today? The first? Yeah,
Today's the
first.
first, so Monday.
First of Halloween, the 31-day
Mm.
challenge. Horror movies all week.
What's up, Dave?
You have fun with that. With we're gonna that's gonna be charging on the 3rd, which is Monday, and then also as you can see the Godzilla versus Hedorah 5 points.
Oh, the
That's gonna be
5 points.
charging.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
looks
So
kind
that
of cool.
yeah, it does, man. And that's about it. That's all I had for that. So of course we have our special guest, foundation of the show, Jason B. Michael. Thank you very much for showing
Oh,
up, sir.
hello. Hey, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, man. How you been?
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Oh, man. What have I been up to? I don't know. I think the easiest way to put it is like soul searching in a sense. You know,
Mm,
I like over the course of the summer and whatnot, there are a few developments on my side that kind of prevented me from actually doing, you know, a bunch of stuff. I was, you know, reconsidering what I wanted to do with toy photography, where I was, and who I wanted to work with, if I wanted to work at all, if I should be doing it for myself or for like the people that are following me and things like that. So that was a little bit of a weird thing. But then I kind of was trying to get off social media. I wanted to remind myself of what I used to do as a kid because I didn't grow up in this stuff. And I realized like when I looked at my screen time, I was spending 4 and 5 hours a day just like kind of browsing social media and things like that. And I figured I gotta figure out what I used to do as a kid. And so I just put my phone away for, you know, the longest time. I was trying to stay off social media for like 2 and 3 weeks at a time. Just to, you know, I'd like pop in and post a shot, and then after that I'd try to leave, you know. So I was able to catch up on a few comic books I've been reading. I was preparing for the semester that I had to um, you know, I was teaching a new class, so I had to read the books that were involved with that. But I also wanted to get into, you know, just reading in general is what I used to do as a kid, and I used to have a lot of fun. So yeah, that watching movies and documentaries and stuff like that. So just getting away from all of this. And then, you know, the biggest news is that I'm going to be a dad again. My
whoa!
Leslie's
Congratulations.
pregnant. That's it, and so she's due in December, and so a lot of my time itself has been dedicated to kind of getting ready for a new baby girl. And
Hmm.
yeah, so I mean, it's just really trying to get on top of things so that I could not Leslie, obviously she was already pregnant, but the just trying to make sure that everything was in order for the little one to when she gets here, you know. So just I want to spend more time in real life than online. You know, I have these wonderful friendships online, but you know, Leslie and my kids are the ones that contribute to my daily life. Not that I don't appreciate everyone here tonight, but yeah, it's just one of those things that, you know, getting offline just kind of was benefit for me psychologically in a sense. So yeah.
Did you feel like you were just burnt out with everything? Or?
Uh was I burnt out with yeah, I mean, it was getting kind of negative. And plus I noticed also that in the interactions that I was having with certain people that I was talking with Johnny, like Sergeant Bananas, and a lot of the what I used to talk about with him was very negative. And I was like, wow, man, like, I want to have more positive conversations, you know, and I don't want to drag anybody down or something like that, you know. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think one of the most fun interactions that I've had recently was with Trevor. I was talking with, we talked over the phone about a week ago, and we were talking about Rings of Power, talking about, you know, the new Game of Thrones show, and just like toy photography and work in general and things like that. And it was kind of refreshing as a conversation rather than just like focusing on like who's doing what and what should we do with this, you know, oh, that person, you know. It's just yeah, it was fun to just kind of have a normal conversation rather than just talk about talk shop or who's bitching what and who's putting out crap and whatnot. And so
Yeah. Well, I can tell you one thing, man. You chose the probably best possible time to escape, because man, I'm pretty sure you heard some of it, and not trying to kill your vibe with it right now, but yeah, there's a lot of that going on right now, and
Mhm.
so you chose an excellent time, and uh, I know. Charge your battery. Just kidding. I was looking at this. I was looking at this thing right here. Uh, right here. It's like charge your
Yeah,
battery.
that I do that. Like I said, I'll repeat. I do that because I troll people. You know, a lot of people are always telling me, "Why is this battery always on low?" and stuff like that. And they
Hmm.
always tell me to charge my battery. But most of the time, when I take my behind the scenes,
Hmm.
the shot's already edited. You know, so the battery blinking, I actually sometimes just put in a weaker battery
Hmm.
so that I can actually get that flashing light, just so that it creates conversation, and that way might please the algorithm in a way.
Hmm. Yeah, it's man, I was going through um because I don't think I've really gone like too deep into your stuff. You
Mm,
know, like I man, it's just been so busy, and it's hard sometimes. Like I'll get on. I've been doing what you said. I'll try to like limit the amount of time that I'm on.
yeah.
And of course, most of that's focused on like research or trying to like do the group or something like that. But
Mhm.
on Instagram, I swear sometimes it seems like I get two or three scrolls and I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta go do something else.
Yeah, it's like 3 ads in a row, and you're like, I didn't. What am I doing here?
Yeah. Did you do the other photo app? The God, what is it?
Oh, Vero, yeah, that lasted
Vero,
about two
yeah.
weeks. I was really happy about it, and then after that, for some reason, like everyone just kind of like we're like, oh fuck this place. This is another place that I have to deal with. Screw it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll post again maybe, but at the same time, it was interesting because when you go look at the pictures, you can actually
Mhm.
zoom in, and the quality is not as good as what if you were have it printed out or something like that, or if you have
Yeah.
it on your computer screen, but they actually give pretty good quality. And so that was fun because I was able to zoom into a bunch of images that normally, like on Instagram, I would never have been able to see, like the detail that this
Hmm.
person had, what kind of focal length that they were using and things like that.
Yeah.
But on Vero, like they actually genuinely have something that's really good. It's just that it went well for I was able to grow a little bit for like a week, and then after that it started kind of going down Instagram's route, where if you
Yeah.
didn't post at the right time, well then you got fucked and shit. So I was like,
Yeah.
screw it.
I can't stand that crap, man. I just like I was talking to somebody else the other day. I was like, when do you think I should post this video? And they said, oh, do it at this time. And I'm like, oh, this is too much math. I don't care about, like wait
Yeah.
until the moon and the tides are right. I was like, I'll just throw this up. If it get, if people will watch it, it's cool. If not, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was so yeah, I'm looking through this stuff because I was like, I had more time
Mhm.
today, and I was like, and I think I even mentioned it to you. The quality on a computer is 10 times better than looking at it on your phone.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, crap. But it like this shot right here.
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad.
love that shot.
I do too. I'm glad you used LeBron James and not anybody
Well,
else.
but I mean, if you look through the post itself, like
Hmm.
when I posted it, I had just noticed that LeBron James said that he wanted to play Batman in a movie. And so I was like,
Oh,
well, why not? That would be really fun to have him kind of just. I have a Mafex LeBron and I have a Mafex Batman.
yeah.
The proportions seem okay. Why not put him in the suit and have him, going for a dunk? And it was so weird because I got so much shit for that shot for some reason.
Why?
Everyone was like, tell him to stay in his lane. Fuck that. We don't want to see him
Yeah.
play
Uh,
Batman. And I was like, this is a toy photo, guys. It's just me imagining something ridiculous. Like it doesn't matter. Who cares? This isn't real life. I'm just fucking around.
yeah.
So, but I actually like that. And when I was in Montreal at the Comic-Con, someone bought that shot for their boyfriend, and it was so much fun because I only brought one print. And the woman that came up to my booth was like, I was hoping that you had this shot with you because when I saw it on Instagram, I liked it and I wanted to get it. When I noticed that you were at the Montreal Comic-Con, I had to swing by to pick it up, and that's it. So she bought the only copy. I was really, really pleased about that.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
You
good
look,
weekend.
I was gonna talk to you about that too. But you said like the LeBron thing. Yeah, man, dude, I totally understand. I was messing around like when I showed you that Gomez when I swapped all that stuff out and I put him in the
Yeah,
LeBron
it looked
jersey.
great.
Well, some guy messaged me and said, "Wrong Laker," and I was like, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, wrong Laker, man." And he goes, "You need to do Jordan anyway. Jordan's better." And I go, "Oh God, here we go, another guy like this."
It's a fucking toy. Get over yourselves.
Yeah. Well, there's a little inside joke. I don't know if a lot of people know because you see the internet. So
Oh yeah,
Jim
yeah.
and yeah, Jim
With
and I have this.
Anthony.
Yeah, and Anthony, we have this running joke where it's like, it's LeBron versus Jordan, and we have these
MJ.
like, these little mini arguments all day, and we just debate, and so just throwing facts at each other. And I guess this guy saw it, he wanted to chime in, and I said, and he goes, "Wrong Laker," and I go, "Who do you want?" And he was like, "Who are you saying?" He goes, "Oh, he's better than Kobe." I'm like, "Can you tell me a Kobe Bryant figure that's out there that has soft good jerseys?" I was like, "No."
Nah, man.
I'm like, "Yeah,
Nah.
here we go. Like, it's a
Anyway,
toy."
but
Yeah.
everyone knows that Jordan's got 6 rings.
Oh God. You're not in that camp. You're not in that camp, are you, man?
Six,
I love.
six,
I know. I love.
6
I love.
rings.
I love. I love going at it with Jim sometime on that, man. It's like crazy, man.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I know. So but when I was looking through your stuff, man, and like I said, I had time, like really time, because I like looking at stuff
Hmm.
and pixel peeping and stuff. So like I'll see stuff like you said, like the shoes and everything. I didn't know the
Yeah.
backstory, so it's always great because I've always remembered that about you, that you have stories behind each one of your
Yep.
photos. So, and I know we're going
See, look,
later
Captain
on.
K. LeBron's a crybaby.
Oh
So,
gosh, there
we're
it
talking
is.
about a toy.
Uh,
Jordan's got
oh,
6
man.
rings.
Remember that entry that you did had? -1. He had an entry. I'll take that away from him. But
Hey, Steve, what's up?
uh, yeah, but I was looking through here and stuff has
That
always
was
been like,
awesome. That
I
last
know.
picture, that was so
Oh,
cool because
this
they
one?
the Montreal, no, the one where you have a spread of all my pictures. That
Yeah.
when I went to the Montreal Comic Con, they had asked me,
Hmm.
and they gave me a table in exchange for this. They wanted to use some of my shots to because this was the first Montreal Comic Con, I think, in 2 years as a result of COVID. And
Yeah.
so they wanted to use some of my toy photography to express how they were feeling about returning to the con.
Hmm.
And they basically said, "Hey, if we offer the table, would you be willing to send us some pictures so that we can put that in our program guide?"
Hmm.
And I was like, "Yeah, that'd be awesome." So I sent them 9 shots, and they used them. They printed them out in the program guide, which means that, like, I don't know how many people I think they had over 60,000 people at the convention. Now, I'm not saying
Wow.
that 60,000 people picked up the program guide, but those are 9 of my pictures that a lot of people saw. And
Yes.
it's just such a wonderful little milestone for me. Like, now some of my things are in print in a guide. Now, I don't know if that'll ever happen again, but I have one of those as a souvenir, and I'm really, really proud of that. So yeah, there's a couple of shots in there that I never would have chosen, but at the same time, that if they like that, that's good. So yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think it's cool because it's that first con from everything happening. But like you said,
Yeah.
even though maybe not everybody looked at it, that's still, what'd you say, 60,000 opportunities for you to get seen. So
That was fun.
that's just,
And it was cool because the graphic designer, the one that put the guide together, came to my table, and she brought her kids and her husband, and we spent, I'd say, a good 10-15 minutes talking. And I thanked her so much for the layout that she had put together and all that stuff, because it looks like a comic book, and it was so much fun to see like the pictures interpreted in that way. You know what I mean? As though
yeah.
they were like little panels inside a comic book. And so, yeah, it just kind of gave you know uh, pictures a different life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And going through here, it looks like you were able to get some other stuff done
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
They
I
had
got
it
to meet
signed.
Kevin Eastman. I gave him one of my pictures. He probably threw that out because he gets so much fan stuff, but it doesn't matter. I had him
No,
sign one of
man.
my Ninja Turtles. So that was really cool to meet him. There you go. Got a
Nah.
Kevin Eastman autograph on my Leonardo from 1988. And I got to
And
meet Malcolm McDowell. And I got
yeah,
my
man.
Clockwork Orange Alex signed, my Mezco 112 collective. And it was really
That's
cool
awesome.
because he usually writes when he signs autographs viddy well, and then he signs, and I'm like, I don't want him to write that because that's kind of just before he rapes that woman. Viddy well, and I'm like, I don't want that. And so I teach for a living, and I thought it would
yeah.
be really interesting because I've learned so much from like Kubrick, and I teach at Clockwork Orange as well when I'm at the college, based on language and whatnot. And so what I wanted him to write was, "I taught you well, my little droogies." And
Oh,
so I had him do that because it was just something that was more personal to me. And so
yeah,
because I was a teacher, he said, "Sure, I can sign it for you." So that was really, really fun.
yeah, man. And it seems like it gives you a chance, like you said, just to get better perspective, to kind of like step back from stuff. I've had a bunch of friends that have said, I'm kind of stepping away and just reevaluating everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and then, so how do you feel? Like, you feel better, like about collecting and about just your overall mental health and
Well, I mean, I got like recently, like in the last week, I've been online quite a bit. I knew that RumbleCon was coming. I had posted a couple of shots as well, so I kind of fell back into the same pattern I was before I left, and it's been rather difficult because um, the amount of enabling and the amount of FOMO is just back like to peak,
yeah,
and I was like, that's one of the reasons why I thought it was interesting to kind of get away because it was saving me a lot of money. you know.
yeah,
So I'm planning on heading out. There's a couple of things that I do want to get, but like I was talking with let's see, Mert Guler,
yeah, yeah,
so Wayne Collectors. If you don't follow him, give
yeah,
him a follow. He's a great guy.
yes,
And he keeps sending me shit like, "Hey, you should get this. Hey, you should get that." And I'm like, those are really cool. I'd love to get those. And at the same time, I'm like, I do not want to spend my money on that right now. I have so much stuff already, and I've been trying to downsize my collection because the kids coming, I'm running out of space and all that stuff. And then I realized I'm never going to shoot most of these things. So why would I just keep hauling them from place to place?
yeah,
Just like a hoarder. And Leslie's getting a little bit, I won't say pissed, but she's getting a little
uh,
aggravated by the fact that she's like, "Dude, you've got so much stuff, when are you going to use it?" And I was like, "I keep it in case." And she says, that's not good, man. Why would you keep it in case? If you're not using it, get rid of it.
mm,
Fuck it, you gotta get rid of it. So I
yeah,
tried to sell a couple of things, but nothing sells. People want you to give things away and all that stuff. So if I'm going to give something away, I'm going to give it to like young kids that don't have anything during Christmas or something like that. I'm not going to give it away to a collector when he can flat out buy it from me, but I'll try to spoil some other kids sometimes. So I have like
yeah.
2 or 3 bins right now full of stuff that, during Christmas time, I'll just bring it down to a place and I'm just going to make some kids happy with it.
That's cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
especially because if you're not, like you said, you've always had that perspective of like, yeah, they're tools and I use them for enjoyment and stuff like that. So if you're not getting out of it, then obviously it's better to do from that point. Man, well,
Yeah. So there's a lot going on.
yeah, well, I can tell like from the feed, everything. You've always had a personal touch with this stuff, but like it seems like now there's like just a little bit more added to it. You know what I
Yeah.
say? Like, and then especially you just having like life adventures and stuff like that. Like that whole thing was kick ass, man. I'm trying to remember. I'm still used to try to screen share. So, but that kind of stuff is cool, bro. I
Yeah,
can.
so that allowed me, like, I'm not, this isn't a brag or anything like that. It was during the Montreal Comic Con. I was so happy because I made $2,000 that weekend selling my
Wow.
pictures, and it was so much fun to be able to sell that many photos, make that many people happy. People were coming up to me, and it was weird because like they knew me from online, and it was just surreal. It was really, really fun. Uh, but then I decided to spend the Sunday. I could have gone back to sell, like, I think I had maybe 20, 25 prints left, but I wanted to spend the day as a fan. So that's when I went
Yeah.
to meet Kevin Eastman and I went to meet Malcolm McDowell. I was like, I made my nut for the weekend. I don't need to make any money doing this stuff. So it's kind of I was like, it was cool. I get to do that, and plus Leslie was there with me, and so that was fun. I love that fucking shot. It's so cool.
I do too, man. And
That's so good.
that set is so awesome, man. And when I saw
Yeah.
this, like I was like, oh, he killed it. I knew he was gonna kill it. When I saw
Oh
this,
man.
it's not a head shake or anything like that of like jealousy. It's more like envy because you're like, man, I knew he was gonna kill this fucking shot, and like and he did, bro. It was like this one too. I love it. It's so cool.
That one was fun to do because I don't know, for some reason, like
Go back.
lately I've been trying to kind of do things that I think are fun, and like the one with the pink skulls is one of those things where I was hoping that Mezco would reach out and say, hey, do you want to participate in the pink skulls and all that stuff? And they didn't get anybody, so like we got Darius's shots and stuff like that, which is great. But I would have loved to work on that, same as I would have loved to work on Gomez. So shout out to everybody that got to work on him. I was like, I haven't gotten my shot on Gomez yet, and you fuckers did. Super jealous, but at the same time very happy for them. But eventually I'll get my Gomez, hopefully. But yeah, so and the shot with Crocmaster, I don't know what happened. It's just for some reason when I saw the whip, I was like, huh, that'd be fun. What about a Circus Master or some shit? So it's very cool.
Yeah, you can just tell that there's more, I guess, time that's taken into your shots even more than before, but they have more of a personal touch. I mean, well, I pixel people a lot, and so maybe I'm reading into things too much. So.
No, it's not Mezco, but is it true if you order a HasLab engines will cost you close to $500? It might actually cost me more than that, because right now the conversion rate is 73 cents on the dollar. So that means to get 73 American cents, I have to put in $1. So at 350, you're already at $500, roughly, right? So roughly around 484, 485. But then that doesn't include shipping and import fees. So we're looking at Canadian anywhere between 550 and 600. So
yeah, yikes, man. Yeah.
So it means HasLab is not something I'll be able to afford ever. And if I do, I get kicked out.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that a little bit later. Not the HasLab stuff, but just pricing, like we've talked about before in general. But, yeah, I mean, there's just some crazy stuff. So there's a lot to talk about. So let's get into some of this stuff. So top cons tonight, of course, will be RumbleCon. I wanted to go over a little bit of postcon with you. I don't know how much of a fan or how much of it interested you, but there's some stuff that I saw. I was like, man, I really want to talk to him about this. And then I really want to talk to you. This kind of broke today, the Mythic Legion stuff. I really, really like what they showed today. I was like, crap, they're making it really hard not to jump in that line, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but before we start that, I had a little bit of interesting information that I wanted to share.
Let's see. 1350, I think, Steve.
So, of course, we all know that RumbleCon happened, and a lot of people asked that why didn't they show up for New York? They went to San Diego. And so I was doing a little bit of research, a little bit of digging, and I saw, originally I looked at the New York Comic Con list, and they weren't on it. And I was like, wow, maybe it's going to be a last minute thing. And so I looked on the website, and it said that if you didn't have your stuff turned in, that you were not going to be able to go. And I'm like, oh, they're not going to be able to go this year, or not be able to go. They chose probably not to go this year. Okay. I was wondering what happened. And so I was talking to a couple of people that I know. They do MegaCon, and my girlfriend, she's also been involved in MegaCon too. And she was doing a little bit of a breakdown for me, and started researching it. And you know that one of the reasons I thought that maybe the reason why they didn't go to New York was because there's a mask mandate for all exhibitors and the panels. So like guest panels, and so a lot of people pulled out from this event, I guess. And then one of the biggest things that I thought of was financial. Crazy. Crazy cost.
Must cost a lot to go there. And if you're not getting any return on your investment, or if, like, I mean, at the same time, didn't they just show everything that they had on their slate at San Diego?
Yes. And I saw a lot of, this is one of those things where it's kind of weird because like you'll have people say, oh, well, they didn't really show anything or they didn't do anything. And then you look at it you stand back and you go, well, what's the incentive for them to do it again? Like you said, what if they don't have anything? And so that's the reason why I looked at some of the stuff I did. And so I only use MegaCon. I'm not saying that this is a thing for New York Comic Con. It might be completely different because I can imagine it's probably more expensive.
Right.
MegaCon is in Orlando. So if you want a 20 by 20 booth, oh, and you'd probably be able to throw some insight in this too because you went and did your booth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I
My
know you said
my
you got it for free, but they would have, you'd know how much it would have cost though, right?
Well, it depends. I mean, I'm an artist, so it's gonna cost me the same amount of money. Like a
Okay.
booth, from what I understand, for exhibitors, like for me, it was I would have had to pay $700,
Mhm.
right? So that eats into my profit, obviously. So I have to sell, to
Yeah.
bank that. So $700 plus the prints that I have to buy. So we're close to maybe $1,100. So I
Yeah.
need, not only that, the gas to go there. And if I was to rent a hotel for those 2 days, then I really have to sell. So the prices normally are going to be really, really high. But luckily my girlfriend's father lives there. He lent us his apartment. It only
Yeah.
cost me the gas, my prints, and also, but I already printed a bunch that I hadn't sold before. When it comes to
Well,
a company, like right now in town, there's going to be a toy convention,
mhm.
and it's a toy and video game convention. And when I saw the price of the booths, I was like, what the, like, it's crazy. It's anywhere between 3 and 15 grand,
Yeah.
depending on the size that you want. Now,
Yeah.
3 grand might not seem like much, but just think of the space that you have with 3 grand versus someone who's getting a booth that's 15 grand. So
Yeah.
that's advertising money and things like that. Sure, you have to have a budget for that, but that's expensive. So expensive.
It is. So MegaCon here, they have a booth or two here at MegaCon when it happens. So a 20 by 20 booth there is 10 grand.
There you go.
Yeah. Now that's a 20 by 20, and we all know like Mezco, they do way bigger setups.
Okay.
And also, so they also had to buy banners and stuff. Like each banner was 3 grand.
Wow.
And that's and then of course, just like any company, you have to have your branded, swag, lanyards, t-shirts, pins, buttons, and stuff like that. Not to mention the promotional stuff that you're handing out.
Yeah.
Some other things to consider are the delivery costs, exclusive shipping. So if you're in California, which I know that they have Washington, but if you're trying to ship some of those exclusives from whatever, or you're trying to ship, you have to do that. Not only
Mm.
for your exclusives, but you're also your show merch, or your prototypes, or whatever you're showing. You have to take that from wherever it's from and ship it to California, and then ship it back. And so there's also what e-commerce, there's staffing costs, there's materials, there's the Freeman workers. They have to set up your stuff. You have to set up your stuff and tear it down. And so I was like looking at this cost. I'm like, this is crazy. No wonder I'm surprised they even did the one in California. They just didn't do the one over here in New York. So I
And
figured
then
it's
at the
probably
same
a
time,
financial thing.
you have to weigh, just how much you're going to get out of the con, right?
Yeah,
So San Diego you're going to have all the Marvel announcements. You're going to have all the, anything that's going to have to do with any comic books. Sure, you're going to have some panels in New York and things like that, but it's nothing like San Diego. So if
yeah,
you have any sort of meetings planned with anybody,
hmm,
because you're not just going to be at your booth, you might actually have to fly out to San Diego to schmooze a little
yeah,
while you're there that you're not going to do here in New York, right? So it might be well worth the money to head out to San Diego, rather than stay in New York, because everyone's going to be there. Whereas New York is going to be more specific to comic books and comic
yeah,
content and things like that, right?
yeah,
So maybe like all the studios are out there as well and all that stuff. So maybe if you're talking about licensing and things like that, it
yeah,
saves a trip. If you just go out to San Diego, you're meeting with everybody that's out there anyway. So why not?
yeah. I just think it's a huge cost, and I know everybody's been impacted by this differently, and I think maybe they just kind of took
Mm,
they took they took it and they said, you know what, maybe we need to just kind of like relax on that.
mhm.
And just think, what's the California minimum wage in Canadian? I do not know, Steve. I guess he's asking what minimum wage is.
Oh,
Yeah,
California. I have no idea.
yeah,
I thought he was asking what minimum wage in Canada was. I said
yeah.
13.50. Sorry.
So I kind of understand why they probably did this online con, and they
Hmm.
streamlined it down pretty well. I personally think, but so that's pretty much the meat and potatoes of what we're here for anyway. So why don't we just talk about that? So the pre-fight weigh-in. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's just get into it. So I mean, we had teases for a couple of days before, and then I guess all the action really happened when D Amazing, of course.
Yes.
We got all these little teases, it's coming,
Yeah.
it's coming.
There
And
we
then
go.
Darius dropped his review, and I thought this was badass, man. I did a little. I messaged him and said, "Hey, man, I would really like to do some content on this." He was nice enough. He said, "Yeah, go ahead." So he gave me a little bit of, I guess, license usage rights. You
Nice.
don't want
That's
to
good.
like. It is, man. I didn't want to. I didn't want to take something and not, give credit or do any of that stuff. And so he was nice enough to let me use this
No,
and do like a
It's like
little.
the Godfather having all these politicians in his pocket. Eh?
Yeah,
You call in
he
a
was fun.
favor, man.
Yeah, but he was cool with it. I was like, yeah. So, but it was nice to kind of see all of that. What did you think when you saw like did you? I figured because you're Gomez fan, I
Oh
figured you
yeah.
were on board anyway. But
Oh yeah.
what did you think about it?
What did I think about it? Let's see. Is he my favorite Gomez? No. However, this to me is my five easy pieces Gomez, right? So anybody who
Hmm.
knows that Jack Nicholson film, I'm a huge fan of that film first and foremost. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh, I could probably kind of just get a Jack Nicholson head and put it on there and put that jacket on, and he's that worker or something like that. It's because
Hmm.
the possibility is that whenever you get a Gomez figure, sure he's a Gomez, but at the same time, Gomez himself, the same way as the skulls are and things like that, they're just more accessories that you can use to build your own figures most of the time. And I
Yeah.
feel that this Union worker, five easy pieces Gomez, is 100% down that alley. I if I look at all the Gomez that have come out so far, I feel like it's without shitting on it, I feel like it's their weakest Gomez, in my opinion. If I
Hmm.
look at like all the Gomez that come out, if you look at it, compare it to Agent, if you compare it to the Shadow Assassins, if you should compare it to Samurai, if you compare it to Stealth, if you compare it to Street, the
Hmm.
Crimson, Golden was borderline for me as well. Golden Ninja. Um, Christmas was so much fun and all this stuff. However, when it comes to the soft goods, he's one of
Hmm.
the best because it's something that we haven't seen on any of their figures yet, right?
Yeah.
Would I have made him a Gomez? Maybe not. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I really feel that he's a good figure to have. But I understand why people would have said, I don't want this to be my first Gomez. I would like it to be
Yeah.
somebody else. You know,
Yeah.
so like I would be more in the line because I've grown used to seeing um I would have loved to see like a Ronin, something like with armor and shit like that on him or something like that, or the cowboy that people have been talking about or something like that, something that's a little
Yeah.
bit more film oriented the way that they've been doing it so far.
Right.
So I would like to understand the thought process that went into this figure particularly, because I feel like this was one of them that I was like, oh, I understand why people won't get this. I'm getting him because I like the blowtorch, I like the figure, and plus I'm a Gomez fan, like you said. So he's a must for me. He's a must-have. All these accessories are fantastic as well.
Hmm.
However, I can understand the hesitation in some people for this one. So local 112 Union Gomez, I kind of understand where it comes from, but at the same time, I'm like, what are they doing? Is a union of collectors? Is like I'm like, what's I'd love to be able to chat with Mez or anybody that had anything to do with this version of the figure and understand the story behind it. Why this? He doesn't seem like the dimension hopping roach that we've grown accustomed to seeing. but obviously in the trailer, we can see he's rebuilding. There's a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the fact that they're, after this whole devastation and COVID and all that stuff, they're rebuilding. They're trying to rebuild trust with us. They're trying to rebuild, so to speak. They're getting back to the grind of things. Gomez is working really hard behind the scenes. He's alone right now, working in a dump, and he's trying to make shit happen. So I can understand that story. You know what I mean? I can see I'm like, ha, yeah, I know what
saw
you're
that
saying.
too, huh?
But at the same time, I'm like, not everyone's going to care about this Rumble Society figure.
Right.
They're not like hardcore fans like I am. I want more Roach. Give me they've cut down, right? This is this our first Roach this year? This is the first Roach
since Christmas, right?
Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So like they were steady putting out Roaches like 4 or 5 a year, and now like we're down to 1. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's a lack of ideas. So anyway, but yeah. So is he my favorite? No. Do I love him? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have him in hand, because obviously in hand you're gonna be like, this is so cool.
Yeah, I'm sure you have to, like, once, because most of the people that I've talked to that had it in hand, they were like, oh, this is really cool. And you know how everything is. Like, you see stuff on the computer or you see stuff in the videos, and people try to capture it the best way they can. But once you get it in hand, there's more details and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, you deep dive. I have really simple thoughts. I was like, this is great. It cost this much money. I was like, I didn't want to overthink it, but you got some great points. You gave some great points though. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I liked when I first saw it. I was really happy about the checkout process. I got to say that first off, because I thought that was gonna be a nightmare.
Took
honestly.
me a minute.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap, I was in and out. I like the fact that I knew this was going to be a convention, and I kept thinking this is going to be a bundle. And with the way things are right now with the economy, I was like, oh, are people, because
if it was a bundle, there's no way.
Yeah, but you know how some people there's today was a perfect example. There's so much shit being thrown at collectors.
Oh,
And
crazy.
so yeah, and so to have your money and your attention being pulled in so many different directions, and your emotions as well, sometimes I can see how some people will be like, you know what, I can't get this, so I'm gonna shit on it. Or they'll be like, I want to get this, but I know it's gonna be a bundle. So I was praying that it wasn't gonna be a bundle and it was just gonna be like a single. So I'm glad that they kind of looked at things and said, oh, people don't like this stuff that we're packing in with everything, so let's kind of separate it. And they even did that later on with the shirt. Like, oh, I wanted to show you this too. I thought this was cool. This came up and everybody's like, what's going on with this?
What the fuck was that? I only saw it after the fact.
Yeah.
Another red Craig.
Like, yeah. Like, was it a tease that was going to go up for the discount or something like that? I was really surprised that wasn't shown.
Man. So cool.
I know, man. I still like it, but hey, I guess it's what you like and not what everybody else likes.
Was that image up like the first time around? Is that what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So initially, this got up, and everybody was like, "Is this a tease or what's going on here?" Or people made sarcastic remarks, and then they were really quick to change it. They put it out, and this is I love the art on this. This is really cool.
It's great. Yep.
Yeah. But I'm trying to get too far ahead of myself. So yeah, it stayed up for a little bit, like an hour, and then it went to.
There'll be a variant of this?
I'm hoping they have some kind of crew. I'm hoping there's some kind of crew. I'm hoping that maybe he's not the first one. So.
I like that shirt. I didn't order it because it was going to cost me $35 of shipping. Crazy.
Yeah. So I got a little tidbit for you on that. So
right.
This is one thing that I thought was cool about the fact that they separated this stuff. They didn't try to like how with bundle boxes, or they try to force feed you with some of the stuff that people like complain about. So obviously they're listening to that, but they gave you this shirt. So I got on, and you know how shirts kind of run differently sometimes.
Yeah.
I got on. What is this? How many did you get? I think the limit was 2 per person. So I got the limit.
On how many cards?
I got the limit. 2 is the limit. That's what I got. But the shirt. So check this out. They had the shirt, And so I wanted to get two because I didn't know sometimes you know how you run differently. So I was like, I'll get a large and an extra large. And when I plugged this in,
Right.
I put it in, and the shipping was crazy. I want to talk to you about shipping.
Right.
So the shipping was crazy, and I'm like, you got to be kidding! And they were going to ship it separately.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's weird. And so I went back into my cart and I took one of them out and I made them both extra larges. And then that brought the shipping down completely. So I don't think I put it in here because I didn't want my address in there, but it
Right.
was crazy how as long as it was the same size, it was a different price for shipping. And it was almost like they were going to
Doesn't make
ship
any
them
sense.
separately.
What are we talking
Yeah,
about? 1.5 grams?
I I don't
How
know, but
precise is FedEx, for fuck's sake?
well, yeah, I didn't know if that had to do with something like from their end or if it had to do with FedEx, but I just thought it was weird. So if you are buying stuff, different sizes, just take that into consideration. I know a lot of people said that during this sale, the 15 to 40% sale, they were getting, some people weren't paying for shipping, some people were.
Right.
So, but this
Had
shirt,
they included it in, like, if they, instead of $100, had they put it at 112 with the shirt? Why not? Like they
yeah,
did for Nosferatu.
yeah, I love that shirt, man. I love that film, the film that they came with.
Oh yeah, I mean it's all right. It's not my favorite thing. I mean it's a film print from an ad that they made. Had it been like a film print from Meryl Noah's actual film, I'd be fucking over the moon.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, it would. So that was what I paid.
Right,
Um, and that was kind of dicing it up. So everybody remember that for the future, just to kind of check if you're looking at. But how
right.
much would it? You said how much would it been shipping to you?
35. Because every time it costs, like I sent you a screenshot of how much it would cost for Gomez to be shipped to my place, and Gomez shipped
Hmm.
to my place Canadian is $53.
American,
Ridiculous. No,
American.
Canadian. It's 42 American. So actually, it's
Wow.
56 Canadian.
Uh,
But at the same time, I can't get them anywhere else. So what am I going to do?
right. That is crazy. I forgot to put this up.
Wet T-shirt competition
I
tonight?
forget this.
Really?
I know that was yeah, it's monkey back here trying to like, oh, I gotta do the chat, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. It's like it's a lot, bro. I was like, holy crap. You gotta talk to the person, you gotta do all this stuff. All right, jump back into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah. But
It's a
I
nice
love it.
shirt, though. I really like it. The colors are great.
I do too. I like it a lot too. From what I understand, I think that's still available for pre-order. I know that Union Gomez, like I said, they sold out of that, and then it
What fast?
came back. Yeah, it
Yeah,
went. It
it's a
was an
pre-order.
hour. Yeah,
It
it
was
was
an
an
hour.
hour,
Okay,
and
then it wasn't that bad.
yeah, yeah, it sold out, and then they put it back up for pre-order. And from what I checked earlier today, because I've been so busy, when I checked, it was still up. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, so they might ship separately for logistic reasons. Is there a theory that they would ship by these sizes? That's what I mean. I don't know because you would think that, and I'm not questioning their practices or anything, but you would think if you were in the warehouse, oh, this guy ordered two shirts, one large, one extra large, in the
Yeah,
box,
they're like
ship
two
it.
separate boxes. You just grab two,
Yeah,
put them in the same box,
yeah,
and fuck off. You
yeah.
know.
Maybe it's a logistical glitch or something like that. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just noticed it and I was like, I gotta pass this on to people because I've done that. I've ordered large, extra large, and I'm like, geez, the shipping is crazy, but
Hmm.
then maybe there's a way to kind of bundle it up.
I know a
Golden
couple of
State Warriors.
people. Oh, there you go. That's what that is. Golden State Warriors colors. Good call, Raphael.
Yeah.
Um, the I was talking to Trevor, and I had asked him if he had picked it up, and he had missed out initially. I said, "Hey, it's up for pre-order." So I kind of
On the
kind of
figure or
enabled him a
the
little bit.
shirt?
I felt bad about it, because I know Trevor is one of those guys that he just keeps receiving things as well. And I remember him telling me I've got a stack of boxes here that I don't even know if I'm ever gonna get to like
Oh, the
open.
hard life, right? The hard life. Oh my gosh. It's like Casey Neistat when he goes in there and he's like, I'm doing all this unboxing, and everybody's sending him like iPads and phones, and he's like, and he's just throwing it everywhere. And I'm like, oh, it's such a hard life.
Oh,
getting
Jesus
all that
Christ. Yeah.
stuff.
Send me a fucking iPad. Mine's like 8 years old. I need a new
Trevor knows
iPad.
I'm messing. Trevor knows I'm messing with it. I hit him up today. I had a rookie question. I'll tell you about it when we get to the section. But I was like, Trevor, I need your help, man. Please help me.
Oh, yeah. Man, that headless
Yeah,
horseman is so cool. But again, shipping to
yeah,
Canada was ridiculous. I was like, there's no way.
yeah.
And I don't want to move to the States. I understand that shipping is the price for healthcare, but it's just one of those things that I'm like, nah, I'm not paying that shipping.
So day one, of course, we got our pre-order that was available. And he went up. We already talked about
Yeah.
that. Pre-orders.
Those
I
clothes are
thought this
cool.
was cool. Yeah, these are some
Yeah.
great shots, man. People in the
Yeah,
community.
yeah.
Boba, you know, Boba. I know Boba, man. That guy is so positive, man. And he does
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. He keeps his head
Charlie's great.
down. Yeah, sticking. So when I saw this, I
My
was like,
favorite
damn, that's
shot
cool.
was Eric's shot. Eric Studdard. He was that one's
If
cool. The
if I
second
get
one.
to it, yeah,
That
yeah,
one's
that
really
one's
cool.
good.
The lighting is perfect on this. I thought that was a
Yeah,
really great shot.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like how he took the effects and he lit them up. You know,
Oh yeah.
like sometimes people have some effects and
Mm-hmm.
you know, man, some of these shots were just great. This punker
Hole in the wall.
Mike's really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's good, man, because he makes his own props.
Yeah.
I love his channel, man. He'll teach you how to do all of that stuff. And so when I saw all of this, and for me, I was like, this guy did everything here himself.
I don't know who this guy is, but I'll check it out.
Yeah, he's really good. I know this is that's Boba.
Mm-hmm.
Great shot by Boba. And I'll make sure at the end of the show I put all their links and stuff like that in the description. I'm pretty sure everybody's liked all these photos. This is one.
Yeah, one.
Yeah. So yeah, day one. Rumble Ruckus, $1,200.
You and I are sure to win that, right?
I doubt it. I've come to terms.
All right, let's get into this. Who fucking wins?
Yeah, so I wanted to go through with this with you, and everybody in the chat too. I'd love to see who you guys chose as well, because I couldn't
can't see
tell
the
with
chat
the
right now, so I'm gonna exit. I'm gonna press escape so that I can see.
Oh, is it not showing up?
No, it's all right. It's because I was on full screen. I might have to go get some wine too. I'm running low. Missing that headless horseman is killing me. Yeah. I'm sick over it. Jeez, poor guy. I'm glad.
Hey, wait. In 7 minutes, I was hoping we'd get to it by that time, but in 7 minutes, they're gonna do another pre-order for that headless.
Yeah, at 8
not
p.m.
the all-in-one. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. So you got another chance. I'm sick over it. You don't have to be sick over it anymore, buddy.
I want everyone to know that Plasty is wrong.
Paige, can you use the poll function in the chat? I am still a little new, so I don't know how to do that. But I'll figure it out one day, I promise. Yeah. So when we get to this, so who do you have?
Baby's got the Benz. The Benz.
You got Benz?
Oh yeah.
I think I chose Nemo. So yeah. This is not the actual reflection because we already got who the end was. But,
Nemo lost his hand to a shark. And Benz has got the Aquaticons with him. What's wrong with you people?
But he came back. And he came back with
one hand less.
With a crew. And wave riders.
Yeah. But that's after. Look at this. It's terrible, man.
I chose
Everyone's
Black
wrong.
Mold. I chose Black Mold.
Me too.
This was a good one.
Doom.
Atticus Doom over
100% Doom. Doom throws him into like some nether realm stuff.
I chose Nosferatu.
Takes a lot to come back with one last hand. Fair enough, but it doesn't matter.
This one was a fun one.
Knock.
You had Doc Knock?
Oh yeah.
I did too. Yeah, and I think
everyone did.
Yeah. Poor Murder.
Come on.
I knew who you were going to choose on this one.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hawk. I'm kidding. No.
Throw him some love. Come on, man.
Yeah. No, obviously Gomez, man. Gomez is going to win.
Yeah. As soon as I saw this, I go, I know who Jason's picking. And
everyone.
Let's let this one simmer for a little bit.
Yep. I actually thought about this one. The other ones I was just clicking through it, and this one I was like,
Yeah. So I
So
saw some interesting comments about this.
who
Like
do we
everybody's
got
like
there?
Eddie would kick his blue ass and all this other stuff. It's like,
All
geez.
right, so we got Orange Julian that says Vapor. We've got Z that says Eddie. What do we got? What
Yeah,
do we got?
I'm catching up.
Keeping him on. Keeping him on. Keep him coming. Corey, Eddie.
Corey. Oh, I want to say a quick thank you to Corey today because, for one, I wouldn't have got Serpentor today because I could not even get on Hasbro Pulse and order any of that.
They
I'm not
released. Oh, I
complaining.
didn't even know they were releasing that.
Yeah, I kept sending. Oh, I didn't send him because I knew he was busy, but I sent another friend of mine. I was like, "Look at this! It's just the Wheel of Death." I just couldn't get in there,
Vapor,
and so
Eddie. Let's
I
see his
went
picture.
to Big Bad Toy Store and got some of the Joe stuff. But
Right. All
Serpentor.
right. All right.
So, and then also he and then Joey Robinson. Those guys are always like sending me stuff just in case I might have missed stuff, and sometimes some of the links were broken. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody that kind of pulled in and helped me today. I
Right.
appreciate you guys. But definitely, definitely Corey. Corey was like on it. Most of the photos that we have for this show, he sent me, and so I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.
Very
Look into
cool.
the camera. Thank you guys.
Did you think Vapor or Eddie and a weapon of choice?
Yeah,
So who
we
did
let
you
it.
vote for, Mr. Page?
Oh, I get to go first.
Yeah. Tell you why you're wrong.
I chose. I chose Vapor.
Yeah. Explain.
Well, because you know he's always gonna have a special place for me, man. That was my first one. You
Right.
never forget your first, and so I like Eddie, and it was just a kick to the balls later on when they showed him later on. So, but
Mm.
I like Vapor a lot. Would I change it now? No. Who'd you got?
I chose Eddie, and I told you, as Eddie's
Oh.
too drunk to feel anything, he'd win.
Mm,
He's too drunk to feel anything. He's gonna win. Vapor's gonna be spraying him with the spray paint cans and all that stuff. And fuck it, man. Eddie's just gonna be coming at him like a tank. Just like, yeah, there we go, drinking
yeah.
and stuff like that, whacking him across the head with the bottle, grabbing a
Yep.
new one. So
Yeah.
yeah, Eddie'd fight dirty too.
It would too. It'd just be swinging the bottle and stuff like that, broken glass. Oh, Figgy, hey, I want to send a shout out to Figgy too as well. He was the guest before you, fellow Canadian.
Yeah, Figgy's great.
You know, I'm just doing straight Canadian hangouts from now on, I swear.
Mm.
But you
Oh
guys are
yeah,
laid
we're
back,
nice
bro.
people.
Yeah,
We're
you guys are, man. Like he was laid back. It was a cold show. Like we talked before. He just came on. So, man, great guy. Appreciate you being on. So we're not late. We're never late. Look at this. We got some other ones too. That's not what I wanted to click.
That's all right. But at the same time, you and your shirtless figures.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it because some of those other ones
Paige has a couple of plunderlings now. Nice.
I do. Sawyer, Corey's son, we met up because I was passing off some other stuff to him, but he actually gave me a few.
Those are cool.
And yeah, man, there's nothing. He's like, Mr. Page, I have something for you. I was like, what do you got, man? And he gave me one of my
Hey,
guys.
Fawn. He's cool.
And I have not really had a chance to mess with these guys, but
Yeah, both Fawns.
I think that they're awesome. They're very highly articulated.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Somebody's going to screenshot that and say he's left Mezco and now he's doing plunderings.
Just put soft goods
Thank
on
you,
it.
Sawyer. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. So, moving on. First, RumbleCon reveal.
Yes, sir.
We are still in day one, and so our first reveal. Now, when they did the first reveal, did you have an idea what it was going to be, or did you like
No
have
clue.
a
I have
hope?
no idea what the fuck's going on.
Or you're like, what?
Yes,
Damn.
I was real happy.
Yes.
I was very happy.
I was too. When I saw this, I was like, crap. And then what really made me happy about all of this was the fact that this wasn't like some kind of like reuse. You know, because like everybody likes to jump on this. Oh, it's reuse, it's repaint and stuff like that. And so I had a long conversation with Figgy about that kind of stuff. I was like, why are you complaining about that? Some people weren't collecting at that time, but Yeah. So this was really cool because I looked at it. I'm like, oh yeah, there I can see some, possible like Black Skull's Death Brigade kind of use. But then these
Practice for Snake
pieces,
Eyes.
yes, but these pieces right here, some of that looks new, but there's parts of it there's I like the working class. I
Pants look
really
like
like, yeah.
Hazard Squad pants. So
Hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has the same boots that Gomez has.
Hmm. Maybe this blade gun, which is cool.
Yeah.
The Toyz blade one, and then this right here. I thought this was really cool because
I'm
it's like
hoping I'm
shaped
hoping he
like
comes
fangs.
yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm
And
hoping he
then,
comes with an alternate head with his mouth open, like
oh yeah, I think so.
with
Like
the
like a
tongue there.
like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be cool.
And then you have the stogie, and then the what is it? The Casino Gomez, that green gas puff right there.
Yeah, yeah.
But this like, and then you can see the patch. This was cool, man. I was like, this is a nice first reveal, especially from the because it was funny when you get in groups and you see some of this stuff and you're just looking at people comment and you're like, man, you guys just don't know. Like it takes a little while for this stuff to happen. I saw some guy going, yeah, when are they going to show the Hazard Squad stuff that we voted on a year ago? I guess some people think that once you vote, you go back and you 3D print it and it's already ready. It's not the way it goes,
Some people
especially
did
with
do it, but
this.
it's not the same.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen a
I'm
lot of
hoping we
people
see
like
this
make
guy
stuff.
soon. Up. I'm hoping we see this guy soon.
Yeah, me too. But did you like?
Oh, oh yeah, I'm 100% on board for that. This guy looks fantastic. I think it's
Yeah,
so much fun. I think there's also a lot of potential for variants of this guy, which is like
yeah.
when we saw like the green suit on Hawk, the new Howlin, whatever they called him. And I think that this the same way as we got a variant for Valley of the Mosquatch, I feel like we might actually get a Valley of the Mosquatch Death Adder as well. So
Oh yeah,
heads up, we're gonna see another version of this guy too. So yeah, this looks great. I'm really, really happy about it. So yeah.
yeah. And I know we're jumping forward a little bit, but I wouldn't mind any of that kind of stuff, especially if they follow this format like they did with the Atticus Doom Nickelverse.
Mhm.
Spoiler, if you guys haven't seen it yet.
Uh, I see if I can text my girlfriend to see if she can bring me some
Uh,
wine.
Thank you, Plastic. Thank you. Wench, more wine.
No, no.
It's a
Hey,
term of endearment. It's just how you enunciate. That's all. Just kidding. So like you had that, and that was cool. This was kind of interesting. I had some interesting stuff about this. I'll try to blaze through it really quick so people don't get
oh
bored
man, I
with
had my fingers
numbers.
crossed for a Gomez. That I was just gonna be like the
Ah,
only one. Like found a lone roach buried in there somewhere, and I'd have a second one, just that I didn't
yeah,
have to pay $450 for. But they
yeah.
had
I
a
was,
great selection in there, man.
yeah. They did, and I think you and I talked about this initially. We were like, oh man, there's gonna be a lot of Kriegs go up for sale. Nah, because
Yeah,
because they get so much flack, and I'm pretty sure they probably had some stock for that. But this was, there were some good deals in here, man. Like, I mean, as far as like buying stuff, I know hindsight's always 2020, but I wish I would have waited on some. But I got confused. I don't know if you did, but I got a little confused at first. I go, "Where's the 40% off stuff?" And it was all down here. But they had their accessories and everything. But this was interesting too. I saw this. It said it was 112, but it didn't have a discount. But I'm assuming because it was an exclusive. And then of course you had your Death Brigade. That was like 15%. Most of the figures were all 15% off.
that's so hard. Whenever that's what she said. Whenever they throw up the Death Brigade, I
Yeah,
think I have 4 or 5 of those guys, and every time I see them there available, I'm always
yeah.
like, I think I need another one.
It's a
I
good
don't know
one.
why. There's one that
Yeah,
I haven't even opened yet, but every time I'm like, I think I need another one.
yeah. So most of the figures were 15%, and wow. So like what, $95 for Captain Nemo? I mean,
Nemo's such a
yeah,
great figure too, man. Like
yeah,
my recent shot, I was like, I felt like shooting Nemo. I was like, what do I do?
yeah,
And so I just tried to do something funny with it. But he's such a good figure.
yeah. And I know it's personal bias, but man, I really love all the tooling that they did with him. I
Oh
mean, it's
yeah,
just
man.
crazy.
No,
Uh,
Nemo's a great figure.
and so all the 40% was the Slugfest Emporium with badassery stuff. You know, your
Yeah,
life size
yeah,
disposable. But when I was looking, I was like, "Where's the figures that are 40%?" I was ready to go. But
yeah.
it's
Pink
well, you know,
skulls,
your hoe.
40% off. What's going on?
I would. Can you imagine if a Black Skull definitely was 40% off? That would push you over the edge. You know, like
Oh,
you're saying, oh, I
100%.
need
Like
another.
Leslie would be like, "Why do you need another one of these guys?" I just have to say, "I don't know.
Yeah.
He's just cool."
I I tell Ann whenever she says that to me, she goes, I go, why do you need more shoes? Why do you need more makeup? You know, don't you have that same red? And she's looking.
See, that's the thing. Leslie buys nothing for herself. So I
Ah,
don't have that. I don't have anything that I can use against her ever. She's always gonna one up me, man.
you don't have any draw four cards. You just I got a two. There you go. It's like yeah. Oh, what was this? The comic. Yeah, and then you get the Creed shirt, and then you got the pin set. All that stuff was 40% off,
That's a
and
good deal
then
on Vapor.
yeah, I think I have him later on. This was something I thought was cool because this sold out.
Nice.
It was well, I mean, not they
Oh, you mean
Nosferatu sold out
prior?
quick.
Yeah, previously. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't available. And a lot of people were saying this is what they got their free shipping on was the Double Trouble weapons expansion.
Right.
So I thought that that was cool that they did that kind of stuff. And then they had Nemo, was it Nemo today sold out and went back up. And then Nosferatu sold out really quick. 'Cause,
I'm glad some people were able to get in on that one because he's a great figure too.
yeah, he is.
No
And
brainer.
I know I'm going crazy on the aftermarket. It's like,
I should get a Halloween shot of that guy. Something interesting. I'll try to figure something out.
oh, yeah, yeah. Really quick, I want to say thank you to everybody that's here right now, whether you dropped in, dropped out. I appreciate it. I had some stuff kind of lined up, but I want to make sure that we can get through most of this stuff because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know Jason is pressed for time.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Important man.
I'll cash in the check you sent me tomorrow.
Mm. Shh.
No, I'm okay
uh,
right now. I still got an hour left. I said from 7 to 9. That's good. Then after that, we're gonna go watch The Patient. You see Steve
I've
Carell
heard
be
that. Yeah,
tortured
I've heard
by this
that's good.
crazy guy.
I heard
Yeah,
it's
it's
good.
good. Yeah, it's good. Steve Carell being psychologically tortured by General Hux. It's great.
So we're
Steve
gonna
Morrow, I
do
wanted a Nosferatu and thought about Nemo. I missed on Nosferatu and couldn't pull a trigger on Nemo.
that.
It really depends on which, what your aesthetic is. You know what I mean? Do you
Yeah.
want those things in order to take pictures? Do you like them to have them in the collection? I'm partial to Nosferatu simply because I've always been a fan of the original film. I know it wasn't real well received in the United States and stuff like that, but as a classic European film, first in the vampire series and things like that, that design of Nosferatu is always been really. I love it. It's a classic look. As far
Yeah.
as Nemo goes, I was privileged enough to be able to work with Mezco on that. And I remember when I opened him up, I was just kind of taken aback by how wonderful the figure is. Now, would I have bought Captain Nemo? Not really. I don't think that I would have actually spent the money on it because he's not a character that I would have had like the urge to have in my collection. But
Hmm.
having him hand and being able to participate in the whole thing, I was like, this is a figure that I'm glad I have now, you know?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
and as I've said before, like, Mez was kind enough to send one to my father. So now I have two of those figures and I'm not going to get rid of any of them. I just love that figure so much. So
Yeah.
if ever you decided that you just wanted it to have to sit on your shelf, I don't think that you'd be disappointed, but I do understand the hesitation depending on the aesthetic, depending on what you want to have in your collection.
Yeah. And if Buddy, I'm gonna spell his name because I don't like butcher name. So Pecht, Buddy, and then there was Julie, Papa. He's in our group. Those
Mm.
guys were the ones that were telling me about the free shipping. So I appreciate you guys kind of showing that and helping people out because I know a lot of people once they saw that they jumped in and they got on that. Oh
Right.
yeah, man, like you said, man, Nemo. Awesome
Yeah.
figure. I'm really happy
Julian
to have
Pappas.
that.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, yeah, Orange Julian. Yeah. I've been chatting with him in the group, going back and forth with him. I messaged him offline. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool, man.
I have to check it out. He looks like a
Information.
nice guy.
Yeah,
It's
he
not
is,
the
man.
first time I see his name too. So hey, Julian.
Yeah, he's cool. I like the way that I keep checking for white vapor. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
man. I would have loved another one of those too. He's so cool.
so this is reveal number 2,
Yeah.
and this is the Atticus Doom Necroverse edition.
Yeah.
Lot to unpack here. At
Okay.
least for me, I thought it was. Your thoughts? What do you think? What do you
I'm not a fan of the glow in the dark stuff, so I
think?
kind of don't give a shit. I was,
Hmm.
I think he looks cool.
Yeah.
I think that I have to see it like different lighting right now because I
Hmm.
think that the emphasis was really on the fact that this is going to be glow in the dark.
Yeah.
But I like the version that I have right now, so I don't know if I'm going to need this. I did see the
Hmm.
reaction from people. A lot of people are like really on board with this look. And
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm like I said, the glow in the dark stuff is not my jam or anything like that.
Right.
I just like the original. So I'm gonna have to wait to see if I want this figure in my collection. Is it a fun addition to the line? Is it a good variant? Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
just don't know if I need this version for myself.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Do you? So, do you
Thanks,
think
Casey.
a lot of this is based on maybe some self control that you're having for yourself to say, hey, even if I'm slightly interested, it has to be over the top, 100% locked in for me to be able to pick it up? Do you think that maybe some of that is comes into
Um,
play, or is it just you just looked at it and was like, nah?
It was more of that, the second, the
Mm,
latter version. It was like, meh, it was the same thing as why I passed on the new Hawk. Helen Fury, I thought he looked cool. I just didn't need a gold Hawk. I like the version I have,
yeah,
and I don't think that I would actually need a variant. Had it been like a stealth Hawk, had he been like completely black, I don't know
yeah,
what it is about that. Like that to have like a commando version, then I would have loved, I think, that version of it. This one was just kind of like shiny, and I thought he looked all right. And he looks good, to be honest. I've seen some people take pictures of him, and I thought he looked all right. I just don't feel like I need it. You know what I mean? And it's the kind of this same thing with Atticus right here. Now, if I see more pictures and they manage to convince me, then sure I
mhm,
might swing that way. But it's just not. I like the version I have. So
yeah. I when I first saw this,
Harry, hey man.
I I was pixel peeping, and the first thing that I saw was the back. I go, is this going to be a new plume effect for us? Because it looks like it is, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And so that kind of grabbed my attention because it's funny because you're always, you know how you like if you look at this picture, it's like there, go here, go here, go here. You know, the lines are all going to him, you know, even here. Everything's focused on him, but I went to the back and I was like, oh, look at this. And so
Mhm.
then I looked at him and I was thinking, oh, this is cool. This is a translucent thing. I'm pretty sure that maybe this is a additional head and we'll get some of those other heads and maybe another different look, alternate head. But
Yeah,
you
that
could
could be
tell
cool.
that they were going for some of this stuff. Like here, you could see with this accessory that
Mhm.
possibly glow in the dark. I like the outfit. Uh, I, I, I immediately when I saw the coat, I was like, I wonder how many people are gonna dye this and make it Candyman. I was like, so and what you said makes sense. Like when these figures come out, yes, this is the base character that I'll see, right?
Mhm.
But I don't just stop there because it's always funny to see somebody's comments go, "Oh God, it's another roach." It's like, no, man, dude, take the head off, and you have something completely different. And if you don't like the neck peg, there's guys selling them for $8 or $9 on eBay, and you can change out the neck peg. So, like when I see this,
Yeah.
I see other stuff for me, and
Mhm.
so I don't. I mean, you really know I don't need a lot of justification for getting something anyway from them. So, but I was looking at
Yeah,
this stuff.
exactly.
Yeah, but I'm looking at what I can do or what I would want to do or what I can see. Like when um when Death Adder came out, I was fighting myself going, oh, don't get some kind of like Serpent Squad where there's a whole bunch of these guys. And you can mix them with the G.I. Joes when they come out later. I was like, don't do that.
Ooh.
Yes, man. I just
A
don't
real
stop.
Cobra Commander.
Well, yeah. If you had an extra head, you could repaint it. But I mean, they're gonna have this G.I. Joe line, and they're not probably going to have squad soldiers. And if they
Right.
do, goodness gracious, your wallets are going to be killed trying to army build Cobra soldiers or Crimson Guard, or any of those guys. So I was looking at that. I was like, this could be like a special ops snake squad. Just trying to come up with options. So
yeah.
But this, like you said, I get it, but I don't know. I like the direction they're going in hindsight, of course, but with everything they're doing. So
it's
cool
definitely cool. I mean, I like the idea behind it.
Yeah.
It's just that I like, for me, I'm like, if I want to throw them in a Necroverse, I could just do it in Photoshop.
Yeah.
And I know that's not necessarily the best way to go about it because my toy photography, but I'm thinking about also, if ever I decide to stop shooting, then I'm stuck with the figure that maybe I don't necessarily need. Right. Whereas the original Atticus Doom is just so cool. I love the look. I love Jason's honesty. It's so authentic. Looks dope. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. I appreciate that.
I apologize to everybody in the chat because I am clicking all the banners and doing all of this stuff. So if not answering you directly, it's not anything against you. It's just trying to do everything. That's all. So please understand. Please don't fire me. Yeah. So this was cool. But I understand your point. It's you're kind of like wondering where it goes. Next reveal. Now, when I first saw this,
it's got great legs. Look at that fucker.
Yeah, he's been working on. Does not miss leg day at all.
Yummy.
Yeah. I think somebody's on that super soldier serum. But so when I saw this, I immediately thought that because I quick looked it. I didn't see the logo at the bottom. But when I saw this, I go, they did the beefed up version of Doc Knock because they showed the statue at San Diego.
Yeah.
And then I saw it was 5 points, and I like 5 points. So this gave me hope that maybe they'll do this. And then it also gave me hope that they would do Wilford here. Because I think that would be cool.
Yeah. See, that Frog Butler, man, is awesome.
Yeah.
That's the one reason I'd get this, because I don't want to start collecting 5 points. We've talked about it before.
Yeah,
and
you don't.
I mean, I like the 5 points. Don't get me wrong. I really do.
Yeah.
But I have finite space, and I have a girlfriend also who has finite patience with my antics. And so I have to be careful. However, that Frog Butler needs to be a 112. I don't care if they put out another Doc Knock. I'll sneak it in. I don't just give me I don't know, Frog Nocturnal. Just call him that. I don't care. Yeah, just give me Frog Nocturnal. I need this.
You want that to be the main line, and they just add Doc Knock in like a case or something.
Exactly. That he's not. Just give me that frog, and I might actually try to get this 5 points just so that I could get that frog. And I don't care if it doesn't scale well. He'll be in the corner, and I'll know he's there. He's just gonna look great.
Yeah, I thought this was cool. And when I saw this jumping forward and then jumping back, I thought the last reveal for today. Did I lose it? What happened? Am I still here?
You're there, man. I can see you.
Did it just stop? I guess it just stopped. I ran out of juice. There we go. But I thought that they were going to show the statue, but I was like, they already showed it. Maybe they'll do it.
Looks great. And see, that to me. Sorry, I cut you off again, man. I apologize.
No.
That statue, when you look at him, that's why I question why they put him on the Spider-Man body instead of the Batman body. Look at the statue they put out. That Static 6. That motherfucker's huge. Give me a Doc Nocturnal that's been, pumping iron, man. I love that shit.
Or pumping something else.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's like a story arc that they could do with him, or they are going to do with him.
Yeah, super steroid Doc Knock.
Yeah, and so I'm wondering if that's what they're gonna do, like, because they keep showing this,
Hmm.
and then maybe it's a lead up to that. But I thought they were gonna do the statue. They're gonna do the pre-order for the statue because man, I tell you what, I got the Conan statue from a friend. I don't know if I can say his name, but he
Really?
gave me yeah, he gave me the opportunity to get it, man, and I said he's like, yeah, I got it. There's a little bit more story to it, but he's like, yeah, I got it, and I was like, oh man, I missed out. I'm kicking myself, and he offered it to me, and he offered it for retail. I was like, no way, man, are you serious? He said, yeah, man. And so thank you very much. You know who you are. I really appreciate you. Um,
You're welcome.
but Ooh, the cat's out of the bag. No. But yeah, he knows who he is. So thank you very much. And then so I started getting him these statues. And I'm not a statue guy, and I took that thing out. I was like, wow, the detail in this is crazy.
Yeah, they look great.
Uh,
I just can't
yeah,
do it.
yeah. So I'm really looking forward to when they do that. But all this is kind of leading up to it. I keep thinking that they'll give us another version of Doc Knock, even though we already got two. Mm.
All right, that's fair. I agree with Harry there.
Ah, so
I
I
forgot
threw
to play
this
that.
in. You did? Well, you might have had a chance because we know somebody that won.
Nice.
Yeah.
Already? They
hmm
announced these things?
They announced the winners for, I don't know if I put it here or afterwards. We'll have to do a
Okay, well, we'll get
surprise.
to that. No problem.
Yeah. So they did the Rumblers roulette winners. I think I know this person right there. Congratulations, Minis. Well
I
deserved.
don't know who that person is.
Jay's Figs, I know him
Right.
too.
Okay.
Jay's is always he's always doing like posing and balancing stuff, and so
Nice.
I know that a lot of these other
Hey, Z's
guys.
there.
Who's these? Where?
Z. Coquette Minis.
Yeah,
Minis
that's
is
what I was
there, man.
saying. Yeah, I said that earlier.
Hey.
Like Minnie's, she won, and I don't think they told her what Gomez she won. But
She won a Gomez. Oh
yeah,
man,
112 Collective
lucky.
Gomez winner, and
Lucky.
yeah, and all
Expletive.
these. Look at all that. Look at all that. Just giveaway,
Man.
giveaway, giveaway. So yeah, if you played the game, I thought these were cool. Day one, I was like, these are going to be easy. You could knock these out because day one, those 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 games were really easy. I just played
Yeah,
through
I
them.
forgot to play.
Yeah, but day two was completely different.
Day dos.
But before we get to day two, I think we should talk about this. I was
Oh
driving home.
man, that thing.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah,
He's so cool.
yeah. I was driving home. Somebody sent me a link.
Fucking Trevor.
And these shots, yeah, these shots that are being shown
Fucking
right now
Trevor.
are done by 1-6 shooter. Damn him, he's good. No,
He's
he
so
ain't that
good.
good. He
It's
is
not
good.
fair.
Yeah.
Look at that, man. Look at that.
This is
Isn't that
awesome.
gorgeous?
Beautiful.
Wow.
The lighting. Hey, look at it. And then there's this like separation with light. Like you see how here and then here it still has enough light to like get that effect going. I don't know if that's lighting or if it's maybe something afterwards, but still you can tell he still lit it.
Oh, yeah.
And this
It's not
horse
fair.
is, as soon as I saw it, you know what I said? Death dealer. I've already gotten, I'll show you in a
Mm.
second, but I've already gotten two other horses that I've been trying to mod squad to, that when Death Dealer drops, I'll be able to put them on. But I saw this and I go, this is the one right here.
Right.
So I had to jump on this. Friend of
So good.
mine, yeah, Corey, he said, hey man, you gonna get this today? And I looked at it. So quick story, I'm driving with Ann and we're going through absolutely the worst neighborhood for reception. And I can't get on and I'm thinking this is not gonna be there. And we finally got to it. And then of course I don't have my credit card stuff put in right. So I hurried up and put that in. I hit another dead spot, and by all of this time I thought it was gonna be done. And it was still available. So I was very happy about that. Good purchasing experience from them. So I
Look
was
at
able to get
that.
this. Yeah. And I told
So,
myself I would make sure I plugged this. But if you didn't get it, it's 24 minutes. I don't know if it's still up, but at 8 o'clock, they were going to open this
yeah.
pre order up again.
It's just one of those figures that's going to get away from me. I would have loved to have that thing, but again, shipping. Fuck. There's no
Yeah.
way. There's no way. I'm not paying $250 for that. I can't. It would have been great. I'm pretty sure C. Jessam is the guy that made the cape on that too, so it's going to be quality material as well. But look at that. If you're going to have a headless horseman, that's the version.
That's
That's the version. So good.
yeah. Well, is there another version out? Is there another headless horseman?
No, but I mean, it's just look at that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that there's been other versions of it, sure, but
it looks really good, man. Um, I'm not trying to jump in. So yeah, this came out and it was this is great. 120. They had an all in. It was 140, and I'm not going to be able to do this segment justice. There's guys like Trevor. They have their own. They have their own show. Do you remember what it is? It's Legions.
yeah, they've got the Legions, and then after that, he's got 1/6 pack. He's also got his reviews on figures, but also behind the scenes. So Trevor's got a couple of things going.
Yeah, he does. And then I wanted to make sure I get this in there too. Dorklair, he actually got this figure early.
Lucky fucker.
Yeah, he did, and he's been pumping out a bunch of content today on it. Really
Right.
good stuff. As usual, he did a review. He has a very unique way of reviewing stuff. It's very informative, and he really knows how to make things look very good.
Yep.
So this figure looked good anyway, but he was able to do it very good justice.
My birthday's in April, so or Christmas
You're
is
like,
coming.
you're like, yeah. Another thing that he showed that was really cool was I don't think it's one of these, but you could see he had an angle right here where the head was, and
Yeah,
you could see the spine and the
Mhm.
muscles stuff in there. I was
Yeah,
like,
it looked
okay.
like a T-bone or some shit.
Yeah. So yes, if you want to know more about this, obviously you can go to Four Horsemen, and then those guys they do a show. I apologize to you guys. I'm not from Jason probably knows, but the name of the show, and then Dorklair has his review up right now. Make sure you go check that stuff out because they covered this very well.
Oh, it's Legions, isn't it? I don't remember exact title, but I know it's on Mondays normally.
I know there's two shows. I don't
Okay.
want to say one show because not like anything is, but I don't want to say that show. And then Trevor say, "What are you doing? You don't
Oh, it's the one
know
with
show."
Trevor. It's the one with Trevor, with
Yeah,
William, and there's one with Nate. And I know there's another guy in there too. So there at least
exactly.
4 guys.
I don't want to say apples and it's oranges. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yeah,
like, not to say against one or the other, but I don't want to get the name wrong. So that's why I'm kind of
just check out Trevor's YouTube channel. It's there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and as well as the other ones too. Like I said, check those guys do a very good job too. Everyone does a good job of like covering stuff, and that's the beauty about all of this is everyone has different perspectives and information, and so that way you can collect all that and make better decisions for yourself. This was a no-brainer for me.
Oh, yeah.
Legion's Lounge.
There you go. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Legion's Lounge. Thank you, Carl.
That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to get it wrong.
That's okay. Carl's here for us because he's always correcting me too, the little fucker.
Thank you, Carl.
You broke motherfucker.
McFarlane did have a movie one. Yes, yeah, the one with Christopher Walken, definitely. Yeah. I love that movie too. It's
That would be
Halloween,
fun. You could put a Christopher Walken head on this one.
This was a quick shoe in because I thought this was cool. I got this morning. So
Black Panther,
Marvel Legends, Black Panther, Wakanda. Yeah.
Oh, they're
There's
going
a
to be
whole
introducing
wave.
her. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I like
spoiler
that
alert.
idea.
And then this is the one that
I
I
had
won't
fun
lie.
doing that.
I did too, but this was the time when I was trying to get the show together. I was trying to like put stuff on. I was trying to like play with the dogs, juggle this, do this, and so I was not all into this one.
Or you couldn't fucking make a puzzle this afternoon.
I couldn't, but it was a nice little throwback. You remember those little plastic ones that you had?
Absolutely. You had
And
to rip
then
out that little circle first so that you could move it around. So
yeah,
cool.
I used to just take all the pieces out and just put them back in.
Oh yeah, man. I
Yeah.
know people that were like you.
Yeah. So that's what I was like, I can't do it with this one. But I thought it was funny because when I was looking at it, the thing that threw me off was the shoe.
Oh.
Well, down at the bottom, if you look at like here, this shoe, I'm like, where's the other shoe? I can't match it up, but it was supposed to be, I guess, the completion spot.
Yeah.
So, well, when you're juggling like 8 things, and you're like, what the hell's the shoe? What? Stop yelling at me.
I did this while I was watching qualifying Formula One this afternoon. My father was like, "Why are you on your phone?" He says, "I said to him, I'm making a puzzle so I can win a toy." He was like, "All right, you be
He
you."
was like, okay then. Yeah. So yeah, some guy gave me crap about it. I said, I was just making a joke about it. I go, what did I say? I go, oh, this one had me really vexed. And the guy told me, he goes, I finished mine in 2 minutes. And I was like, I'm updating stuff. I said, I'm juggling all this stuff. I said, getting shows.
Ah,
And then I
so
said,
you
what did I
just tell
say
him
at the
I have
end?
a girlfriend and 2 dogs. Go fuck yourself.
No, no, I said at the end, I said, I'm also watching Neil deGrasse Tyson's, what is it? The on the Cosmos or something like that too. I was like, I got all this stuff doing. I was like, toys, a little puzzle is not something I'm really too concerned about right
Whose
now.
picture is this?
This is Christopher Pinkerton, Crashbot Customs.
All right, all right, all right.
Yeah, that's his shot. But as you can see, great success. RumbleCon reveal, next reveal. Oh, woo.
Yeah, this guy's cool.
Very
Another
cool.
all black figure that I want.
Yeah, and it's getting a little bit better of a view right here. Man, everything looks so much better on the computer.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Man, this kind of was a little divisive. I saw some people with some comments on this. I was like,
Why?
whoa, well, it's religious. It is a religious
Bartholomew Vex. I
Vex,
love the
yeah,
name.
yeah. I like the name too. I like the character because when I saw this immediately, like I said, I don't focus too much on the character. I thought the character was cool, right? But what I saw was, oh, ripped his head off, put some hands on it, and now you have something that's going to go with what Solomon Kane,
Oh
Atticus
yeah,
Doom,
100%. Yeah.
Frankenstein,
Mm-hmm.
Nosferatu. This is the stuff that I see. I don't mainline focus and go, oh, it's a goat. I looked at other things, so this is very good. I wish the eyes would light up on this goat. Yeah, but this was kind of a, you know what? That's an excellent idea if they had that Gomez lighter feature where the eyes were red or something.
Yeah.
But thoughts?
This guy I'm buying first day.
Um,
Immediately. 1 minute in, I'm getting this guy. It's
yeah.
so cool. I don't even know if I need to shoot him. I just want him. I saw him and I was like, this is really great. We
Yeah.
saw him in the promo for Atticus Doom, did we not?
Yes, sir.
And I thought that I was like, everyone was clamoring for it as well. They were just like, this, we want this figure, we want this figure, we want this figure. And Mezco is going through the comments and going like, they want this figure. Let's make this figure. So yeah, this is a no-brainer for me. I'm eager to see what alternate heads come with this guy.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he has a power down head, like this is some kind of like a transformation thing for him. He just have a regular head or something. I like where they're going with all of this stuff. I really do.
Oh, major scale. Okay, yeah, man, I'm all good. Thanks for specifying. But yeah, this goat is great. Love.
Yeah, I like it.
How about yourself? Obviously you're going to be getting him, but you happy about it?
I thought, I think it's cool, man. I like just variety. And one thing that really caught my attention with this is that we don't know the backstory, but I'm pretty sure you can make whatever it is. But this is a villain, so
I would assume so. Yes.
yeah, everybody's been voicing their opinion about how there's these hero archetypes or these ambiguous characters that they have in line, but we don't have any like these definitive villains. That was another thing I thought. I was hoping we'd see maybe One-Eyed Jack, or they would maybe tease something about. Remember how in the comic they teased who is in charge of the hive with the
Right.
Black Skulls? Yeah.
Right.
So I thought they were going to do maybe a villains, like DC did the year of villains. This was going to be the RumbleCon of the villains or something. But
Check out Spark Extractor. That's it. That's a great idea. He says he'd be great for
that's
Gaslight Batman.
see,
There you go. Thinking outside the box. I like that. That's
exactly
good. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott. Yeah.
I and that's the thing. I like that. That's what one of the things I like about it. It's a pricey way of doing things, but you can get there's a Marvel Legends, of course. They have the Hellfire Club. They have a couple of characters that have this kind of aesthetic, but once you start kind of putting other things together. But yeah, I thought it was cool.
Well, I think he looks great. I think that's a figure I'm going to be getting 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This
guy. Now he's got the perfect face, doesn't he?
He does. And Paige was the guy that bought extra pink skulls heads to do this.
Oh, yeah. But at the same time, I think that's a good idea, though.
It is because, for one, I don't know what heads he's going to come with.
Right.
And two, I did not paint yet. And so what I'm going to do is I'll just use them for the Black Skull's Death Brigade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you remember the comic. Yeah, you remember the comic? Most of them had these kinds of facial features and expressions.
Right. Oh, that would be fun if they were to sell like a pack, a 2-pack of Black Skulls to replace the skull heads that we have with the Black Skull's Death Brigade. Let's hit up Mez after this and say, hey man, we need these skulls in black too.
I think he probably has ideas for this stuff because I can see this looks like the version 2 of the heads that we used to get.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that this is like with the pink skulls, don't get me wrong, they look great, but I like the more expressive faces of the traditional skulls that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I've always like the new pink skull set looks really good. Don't get me wrong. I just prefer the original heads.
Mm-hmm. Right?
And now that we have the ones with the new expressions, they make a lot more sense to me. However, Eddie looks so much better like this. This is what Eddie is supposed to look like to me. He's a cartoon character. Just imagine putting that head on, the one with the reindeer suit. It's just going to look so badass. It's going to be funny, and it's great. So if he has more than one head, if he has, let's say, all 3 of the pink skulls, the new skulls heads, man, and he has to have a goofy looking head too. I'd love it if they gave us the Eddie versions of the new pink skulls expressive heads.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Each one?
Yeah, at each one. Like where he's angry, but that goofy looking one, the one that I had earlier, this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just imagine Eddie, those little, green eyes in there, painted in blue. I mean, I'll be just taking pictures of Eddie from now on.
Yeah. Or a new one. A new head. If they're doing this and they're putting this stuff in there, I'd love to see a brand new head too.
Oh, yeah, that would be real fun. Speaking of which, we didn't mention that, and I was surprised that Gomez only came with one head. That was a side note.
Oh yeah, but you know what? I thought maybe they did that to kind of cut down the cost.
Yeah, we also already have 1 million heads.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very, very interested in when he comes in, swapping that head out and using the light up feature to go through that mask that he has, the welder's mask, so you can see the eyes. So
that'd be a great idea. Good call, man.
Yeah, man, I got a bunch of ideas. I just never execute. So really quick, when I looked at this, like I'll pixel peep, and all these photos, man. Obviously, D shot these photos. It's his style.
Who's
you
that?
Can just tell. D, Darius. D,
I have no idea who you're talking about.
He's amazing.
Oh, right.
He shot. You could tell he shot, and like he put a lot of work into this stuff. But I can tell just the lighting, posing, and then also the dioramas that he was probably the lead guy on this. And so, to shoot all of these characters and to give us these things, it makes me want to call him and say, "Hey, man, give me some more info." But he did a lot of work.
He's that reclusive photographer from North Dakota.
Yeah. But when I saw this stuff after I did that. I was looking, I go, oh, this is cool. Vapor Hat. There's no, they don't have like any kind of the NYC stuff on here. More
Yeah.
clothes for us. Of course, Bella. Aw.
Yeah, the repainted John Wick dog. That's great.
Well, we should get another
Perfect.
dog.
Why
Yeah,
not, man? That's great. He's got a pit
yeah,
bull. That's really
yeah,
great. It's a good addition to this character.
yeah. And then the shoes.
I didn't
I
see
think,
the shoe. Oh yeah, they're
yeah,
totally
man.
different. I love that. That was good. That was a great
Yeah,
addition. I love that they showed that off.
yeah. I love the fact that eventually, I mean, we have quite a few right now, but you're going to be able to have like Vapor. If Mez can incorporate movable eyes, oh my God, yes, that would be cool. Like just like a little, like those. You remember those baby dolls that had the eyes when they lift them up
Yeah.
and they'd move? Yeah, or something like that, where they could just flip it up or something. That'd be cool. Oh, and you could put them
But then,
down
I don't know.
like
After
halfway.
after a year, and for one of them's got a lazy eye, just going around like, what the fuck?
Well,
Anyway.
that and people would just be hard on it, but yeah. Uh, but yeah, shoes. I was thinking we're like slowly building up a shoe collection.
Oh
So we'll have
yes,
like, yeah, so
that's good.
make those closet diorama makers.
Eminem vibes. Yeah, definitely. That's a good call. You put an
That'd be
Eminem head sculpt on that, and you've got yourself an Eminem figure.
hmm I'm very interested in seeing what else he comes with. Very interested. So, what is this reveal? This will be the last reveal, correct?
I think so.
Yeah. So really quick,
Yes.
I honestly thought I'm trying to get minis on my side right now. I honestly thought that the last reveal was going to be Tangerine. I was hoping because you know how hard she's been lobbying for that figure for a while. Like
I
the
completely
reveal.
understand. I'm on her side 100%. I agree.
Yeah, I am too. And so I thought that this was going to be the last reveal. I was like, ah, this is great. We're going to see something, but
Hmm.
that is for another day. And that's not bad because that just means that they're probably working harder on it. But bam,
Yeah. Got the captain of the Sausage Fest, Slugfest.
holy crap.
Looks pretty good, man.
Yeah,
It's a definitely a gigantic guy.
yeah.
Now, what what body is he on? I can't tell from the picture. Those look like is that Thanos's gloves?
It's like this stuff right here is so when I was looking at this, there's stuff that throws me off a little bit because
Right.
not the figure. I like the way the figure looks. And you can probably tell that we're going to get another one of these because if you look at the logo, it's like more of a suit or there's like ripped shirt,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So I can see them obviously doing another one of these. Maybe this is his working.
To me, yeah, this goes with union worker. This is union worker Slugfest.
Exactly. Yeah. But when I was looking at this, like I was looking at, I'm like, there's pieces and parts that look, but the chest doesn't look as big.
Right.
And I was like, I need to dig out Bluto again because you're not gonna be able to
Oh,
tell with. Yeah, you can't tell with Thanos. Thanos is under unless you rip all the stuff off. And so it's like as far as like body type wise and muscles, you'd be able to look at it. This looks like it's all like like nicely sculpted. Look at
oh
that.
yeah, yeah. It
Like,
looks great.
and this too, I can see this being a light up feature. But just this
What
is just look at
what
that. I
face is
hate
underneath there?
it'll probably be that skull, like it was in the pictures. And just but look at all this. It's
No, it looks
crazy
great.
in texture
Details
and
amazing.
leathering detail
Yep, yep, yep.
and all that stuff that they were implementing earlier, like with like some with the Gomez and then also majorly with Gotham by Gaslight Joker, all
Mm,
that weathering that they were doing with clothes, all that stuff starting to come
looks good.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're starting to do it with here. But
this is a good looking figure.
yeah, I was really drawn to all this sculpting. It's just crazy amount of sculpting.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Now, when are we
maybe
getting these things? That's the thing.
us personally or we and that's the thing too, like if you look at all these are more figures that are coming. So trying to backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, your thoughts? I like it.
Oh yeah, he looks fun. He looks super fun. This is a figure that I'm gonna want as well. Like for me, I'm definitely gonna want 4 out of the 5 things that I saw. So I definitely want Death Adder. I definitely want um, the goat. Definitely want a Cousin Eddie, and I definitely want Sluggo.
Mm-hmm.
To those ones. Now I might get the 5 points just because I want the Frog Butler. And Atticus, I'm 100% on the fence, swinging towards pass, simply because I already have a version that I really, really like, and I don't know if I need the other one.
Yeah, yeah.
These characters I don't have, so these guys look great. You know,
Yeah,
so.
and that's what I like about some of this stuff is that you can tell when they just push these kinds of figures out. It's all unique sculpt. It's kind of like they
Yep.
did with Nosferatu. It's all, and so to have those kinds of characters, I know Hawk 240 gets a lot of flack, but for me, it's interesting, because it's a new character, but then also the sculpting is different. We haven't seen that, and I like all the mainline characters, but I mean, how many Wolverines do I need? It's really funny to hear
I
people
got
talk
one.
about,
I'm good.
yeah, it's weird to hear people talk about like characters that get multiple releases, however varied they are. But when there's a new one, it's like, nah, you don't want that. We wanted something else. It's like we already
Nah,
have
I
20
don't know.
something of the other ones. So
Yeah, it's just nostalgia is a powerful drug. We've talked about it before. I can understand like right now I haven't gotten the Golden Age Batman because he's not my Batman. And technically speaking, I don't need another Batman. However, if ever they put out a Bronze Age Batman, I'm gonna jump all over that fucking thing.
yeah.
Because that's my
Joker?
Batman.
What about Joker?
Golden Age Joker would be really cool. It's not the same though. You know what I mean? It's not the
Yeah.
same. Joker's Joker. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I might have to pass. Although right now, like I'm kind of I did go in on Green Goblin. I did put myself on the wait list. Thanks, Carl. Uh, uh, Spider-Man because they teased motherfucking Doc Ock, and if they put
Yeah.
out Doc Ock, I'm gonna want that too. And then they're gonna show Electro at some point. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna want that too. So, but that's why I didn't get Batman. I don't have those other figures, but I do have a bunch of Batman. So
Yeah. Yeah. There's just so much. It's coming. It's like,
oh yeah.
yeah. So I think we're close to the end, but I didn't put
I forgot.
Marvel Legends in here, not because I don't like Marvel Legends. I just saw the stuff that they had today, and a lot of it just didn't resonate with me. And so I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that were, into that era are eating that stuff up. But I'm not gonna lie, but I breathed a sigh of relief. I was like, thank God, because I'm not into that, and I'll be able to save a bunch of money just because I don't have to get it. Doesn't mean I'm bashing the figures or anything. It just means that I'm, safe.
Yeah.
So, uh, but yeah, like you said, there's just so much you really have to decide. They had these last two. This was kind of cool because
I
it
forgot
was
about
an
that.
easy one. Yeah, it's I think some of these are still up, so you might be able to do it, especially before the deadline. But this one was cool. It wouldn't let me get in for a while. But there's supposed to be some Pink Skulls footage, some new Pink Skulls footage with that. And then the granddaddy, whoever wins this crap, and the other one, the $1,200.
Won't be
So
me. Can guarantee it won't be me.
yeah,
Won't be you either.
yeah, you know.
All's
So
gone.
yeah,
Yeah.
so there was some cool stuff in here that I just want to run through with you really quick. I thought that this was awesome. Indiana Jones,
I'll be getting Indy. He looks cool.
he does. I'm still holding out that Mezco does it, but when they showed this,
So cool.
yeah, you just stoked the nostalgia button. Look at that, man. And look at they seem like they really got his likeness, right? Kinda. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he looks all right.
yeah,
They just have to use the Han Solo sculpt they have anyway. So
yeah. And so something. Then of course all these figures that they had. I need to get off of here when I go in and get on Pulse and see if they have it. I went through Big Bad and just ordered some of the stuff. But if you have the figures, they have the build a figure, or I'm sorry, what is it? Build how
yeah,
do you
you
want
build
to
the
call it?
arc.
Yeah, build the Ark of a Covenant.
I fucking
Look at the
hate that
hat.
they do that shit. It's so annoying to me. He
I'm
looks cool.
secret. He does, yeah. I keep jumping fast for it, but I keep secretly hoping that this hat comes off so I can give it to Gordon.
Oh, good call. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Or any of these hats. I didn't watch PulseCon.
Be
I
nice,
didn't
Carl.
watch this live event. There's
I
your
like that.
zombie.
The melting head is good, but that,
Mhm.
to me, what kills it for me is all that rigid plastic for the coats and shit like that. There's no way for me to shape that whenever I'm taking my pictures if I want to put them in the wind or something.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
thought
killed me
about
when they showed Salah and Belloc. I was like, they're still putting us those fucking plastic robes that they put on Obi-Wan. Like, what's the point of having articulated legs if you're gonna put those fucking robes on them? Doesn't make any
mm,
sense, man.
oh yeah. Like if you have a character like with a dress or something,
Yeah,
yeah.
he looks cool though. I like him.
I did too. I looked at this guy and I was like, oh, these are some mob boss or something in Batman. So that's what I saw.
Hmm.
And or a guy that's just a zombie. I was hoping his hat comes off, but yeah, I guess with these characters you get the Arc of the Comic. And again, pretty sure that there's guys out there that cover this a lot better than I will. But here you go, look at that.
There you go. Look,
Damn.
Salah's there and Belloc is there. They both
Yeah.
have these giant Jedi robes that we've been seeing on the Tusken Raiders and on Obi-Wan, and they just how much does it cost to just put on their cheap fucking uh,
You get a little monkey
uh
and a pan.
whatever. Marion looks cool.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
I
but
keep hearing her yell Indy. Indy.
no,
And this guy.
well,
Don't
he's actually a static figure now because of that robe.
yeah, don't look directly into the arc.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, the tooling is good, but at the same time, you can see all the recycled pieces that they've used. That is Obi-Wan's body right there.
Mm, yeah.
They just put Salah's head on it. That's Obi-Wan.
Yeah. When I was looking at this stuff, and thank you very much, Corey, for sending this stuff. When I was looking at this, I was like, I think nostalgia kind of overwhelmed me. I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna get these. 'Cause, it's Indiana Jones. I mean, besides the old editions that we got, we haven't had something like this, and so that kind of, I was just looking. I was like, I'll have fun with these. These will be cool.
Yeah. Bring on short round wave 2. Absolutely. Bring on
Oh
short
yeah.
round. I want my short round. But it's fun
So
that they're making these. I got to give them that. It's fun that they're making these.
yeah, and like I said, when I was looking at it, I was getting more hope that since this is being brought out, that there'll be other options now. Because
Mhm.
it seems like a lot of these licenses, they don't seem like they're one company specific anymore. It seems like they're just kind of doling them out. I mean, Sergeant Slaughter, look at that. That was almost a crossover lapse. Action Force did it, and then Hasbro has it. And so it's
Mm.
like, wow. So, and, back in the day, you wouldn't have seen whatever, like Power Rangers go to another company. It would have just been one company. That's who you got.
Mhm.
It's great times. Expensive times.
Yeah. Lots of money in licensing.
Oh yeah. Indy is up for. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know if because I got on late. I didn't know if Miriam and the other three were available now because I couldn't get on. I could not
I
get
don't
on
know
there.
when I'm gonna. Don't know when I'm gonna be able to get Indy. Indy, I'd like to have. I think he's fun. I do
Yeah.
feel like a Mezco Indy would take the cake. I think if ever they were to make it, so long
Oh
as like the face sculpt itself is not soft, it would be
yeah.
fucking cool. But yeah.
So the recap, really quick. So we went over all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I had a quick stat for nerds. Oh, sorry,
What is that
I
thing?
placed that wrong. This is GI Joe. Sorry, really
Oh,
quick.
okay.
GI Joe. So GI Joe. This was barbecue, Blue Marauder. I called him Black and Blue.
Looks good.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like
it's
a
a
good
great
GI Joe.
figure. It's a great
Yeah, look at
figure.
that. That looks neat. It looks neat.
Yeah, I have the other version. There's the what else? You have thoughts on windowless packaging? I think we're kind of in the safe zone. Everybody beat
I
us to
think
death
that they're
earlier. So,
missing opportunities to hire toy photographers to actually put it on the fucking packaging.
oh, that's interesting.
This is a good job for people like me. Get me on that fucking thing. Even if it's just a postcard inside or something like that to add to the value of this. The windowless packaging, I understand not wanting to put it in plastic, but at the same
Hmm.
time, get toy photographers to take your pictures.
Yeah, I'm one. I think that line is very close, especially with technology we have nowadays. Can you imagine that? Like, there's a lot of opportunity with that. Not only because you're giving opportunities for collectors. I don't know how they would do it, like compensation wise, but can you imagine them being like trading cards where
Oh man, that'd be so
you had
much
your,
fun, man. Yeah, man.
what do you know what I mean? Like comics, like they're
Mhm.
variants. So I can see it becoming a bit of a monster because you'd have, I mean, it would breed competition, I guess, but then you would have, uh, it's almost like, it's almost like hip hop artists or anything, like, music artists. Can you imagine that you'd have your, I don't know, you'd have 5 or 600 and it would be shot by this this photographer.
Right.
And everybody's like, oh, I want that one. I want that box.
Yeah.
So it'd be like comic book variant covers.
Yeah, man.
I wonder if
And
that would incentivize people to buy more.
I don't think that like casual, people that are going to be purchasing stuff like that, but it definitely is a collector mentality, then definitely that would actually add some sort of incentive, I think, anyway. But at the same time, I mean, like I remember reading comments about like, fucking toy photographers, you guys are a dime a dozen now, like no one gives a shit and all that stuff. But at the same time,
Hmm.
I remember anybody who's a collector knows full well that they're collecting for value, but at the same time, if they have like if ever they were to produce 1,000 of you know just that packaging versus the 30-40,000 that they produce or something, people are going to want that. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what the packaging looks like, you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
collectors items are collectors items. So to me, if you want to have a variant, I think that it's a great opportunity to sell a second figure to somebody. And everyone knows, they won't admit to it. Like, I'm not a sucker. Yes, we are. We're all suckers. That's why they're making so much fucking money with us right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because it's a very good racket. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean the marketing and everything else that
Mhm.
goes into it. They know it. This is what I kind of mean. Like you'd have one is this kind of different from the other one, but maybe if you had like they see this,
Mhm.
it's different. I just wonder sometimes because you know how no matter what echelon you may be considered in, but some toy photographers have a following, and so if you're one of these bigger name photographers, maybe if they
Mhm.
got whoever they felt like was the top 10, you it would also be community based because you'd be like, you know what, I really like him, and this is a way that I can. I'm sorry, him or her, and this is a way that I can support that collector, or that artist in a way. I thought this was cool. This couldn't
That's
have
a good
been
looking
bad.
figure.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that would probably screw them over is the timeline. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think that in order to be able to push things out, you would have to send the figure to the photographer in advance, and then it's a bunch of back and forth as if they like the shot or something like that, and then after that they have to put it on the packaging. So I don't know what the
Yeah.
timeline or time frame that would be in, because they do have to have someone that's going to be drawing this whole thing. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
And it's obvious they're doing it now
So
with
that's not an appealing
artists.
box to me.
Yeah. I think if you I think it's that's kind of the point that I'm making. Like some of these, you can tell they're different artists, and there may be somebody that looks at that and says, "Yeah, I know that artist. This is someone who I like." I I've been caught up in some of the death dealers. There's certain artists that do these variant covers, and there's some of them I'm like, "Holy crap, I really want that," and I don't
Right.
I don't buy physical copies for one, until I started doing the Death Dealer series, and now I look at the variants and I go, "Oh God, I like this one out of
Some
that
of the
one."
exactly. Some of those variants are so good.
Yeah, the artists, they're crazy. I know I'm skipping through a lot of these, but you see how
All right.
this one's different. So,
Yeah.
so yeah,
I don't know. Like I
Falcon.
said, to me, the packaging, I don't care about the windowless. I just like the art kind of is like me. That's a good looking figure there. I used to have Serpentor when I was a kid.
I do too. And if you're
Looks good.
going back, I apologize about not listening. There was Cover Girl, there's Barbecue, there's Falcon, there's I think Torpedo was in there somewhere. If not, I probably have it. But yeah, this was I saw this nostalgia. I was like, oh, I remember I had that figure.
Mm. When will the
Soft good
new
capes,
reveal,
soft good capes.
the new reveal Rumble Society be released? Oh boy.
Which
Uh,
one? Look at all that detail. That's crazy.
looks good.
They update on that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember seeing that as a kid. That was really great.
Mm-hmm.
When will they be released? In all honesty, I I wouldn't be surprised if we saw two of them before Christmas, but that would be the maximum. And if I were to bet, I think that we would see the Atticus Doom variant before Christmas and maybe Slugfest
Yeah.
because
I'm very
he was on the promos, right? And
yeah, I'm
Atticus is
interested.
one we already have, so the tooling on that one's already done.
Yeah. I to be honest with you, I don't think we saw everything that they have for obviously, but you know what I mean as far as Rumble Society, I think they still got stuff in the tank because they seem to really focus on this being Rumble Society specific.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if there was something else.
Yeah.
Stats for nerds, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All
Serpentor looks
right,
awesome.
he does, yeah,
I collect to
definitely.
meet chicks.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So stats for nerds. I wanted to bring this up because I know a lot of people we talked about it all comes full circle, but I know we talked about like how much this stuff costs, but
Right.
possibly offset the price.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do
Hold
you
on.
understand why they're
Let's
not going to New York Comic Con?
yeah.
They just
Well,
gave
this
you
is
guys
like
a prize money at a booth.
yeah, exactly. Let's let somebody screenshot this so they could take this. You got it? Good.
Uh,
So day one, grand
fabulous.
prize, 1,200. Nemo is 112. Now they gave three of these away. Gomez. Gomez. There was one. Oh yeah, the black skulls. Look at this, dude. $85 each, right? I put
Yeah.
this in here because I knew somebody was going to jump in and go, well, actually, it was 72.75 today, sir. So I put that in there, but I that's just for fun. I
Right.
didn't even calculate that. So it's 72.75, but that's 2,500. I did put that. But that's day one, how much they gave away in prizes.
Mm.
Day two, 800. Vapor. They were giving 18 of these away. This was for fun. I put this one as burner, but we know they're not going to be giving that away. But they
Right.
would have equaled out to 2,000. Hawk P40, 6 grand because they're giving out 32 of those. But they
32.
said they were mixing those up. Like half was going to be Hawk P40, and the other was Howling Commander, right?
Okay, cool, cool.
And you had Nemo was 112. That was seven of them. It was going to be $784. So total 10,000, and then your grand total $15,000,
Now,
$466 in prizes.
so that someone doesn't necessarily come back at you, this isn't their cost. This is our cost. Right.
Obviously not. Yeah, this
Okay.
is
It's
just
not their
more of
cost.
showing. Yeah, I mean, I'm,
Still.
if you're doing it, takes whatever amount of money to make whatever the figure. I'm just talking about as far as like in value of what they would be giving
Yeah. And
out.
no one pays shipping on this. So let's take that into consideration as well.
Oh, I forgot about that, dude. When they send out prizes, they don't charge for shipping.
Exactly. They don't charge for shipping, so that's on them.
Yeah. I think it's cool, man. I think it's cool that they were able to, you know, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
of all the companies that I've seen so far, Mezco are the ones that have been able to keep their prices relatively the same.
Yeah.
You know, we were supposed to talk about starting lineup just a little bit, and it was weird because to me Hasbro are the ones that their prices have become insane. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not going to pay like what was the figure that they had on Hasbro Pulse? Was it Embiid?
They had LeBron, they had Embiid, they had Trey Young, they had Giannis. I
Okay, it
think
was
it
the
was
Giannis
Giannis.
figure.
Yeah. They're all 49.
49.99 USD.
Yeah.
Okay, now Canadian, that's roughly $62, $60.
Mhm.
Plus shipping to Canada from Hasbro Pulse is another 25 USD, if not
Mhm.
more, plus import fees. It ends up costing me around $100 for one Hasbro figure. Why
Yeah,
the
it's,
fuck would I pay that when I could get myself for maybe $20 or $30 more a Mayfix or a Mezco figure? Doesn't
that's
make any
crazy.
sense to me.
Yeah. So I did a video on this and I was talking to somebody about it. I don't think that this line is marketed towards collectors like that. I think it's more geared towards sports collectors and
Oh yeah, yeah.
NFTs, even though they kind of missed the boat on it. But it's one thing that I don't think it's not something that they can recover from, if that makes sense. I keep saying if they do another wave, I thought they were going to show something today. I didn't really see anything. I think they were just kind of explaining some of the stuff, but I did in that little breakdown that I did. I was like, you got to understand, there's like three shoe licenses that they were dealing with. You're dealing with teams, player likenesses, and I can't remember Kevin. I got it from Kevin, but there was a picture of Brian Scalabrine, and I think he's the one that posted it. What a White Mamba is on his post, White Mamba, and so he posted a picture of himself. I don't know too many people that are banging down the door for Brian Scalabrine, but it's obviously that they're shopping this out. So other players in the NBA probably have this and go, yeah, I'm good with this. And so they're probably getting into this line. So when they showed the silhouettes, I swore I saw Michael Jordan.
Mm.
Bald head, you could see the shoes. And so I was like, well, if they took some of this information, because they got killed. They've had a bad 2 weeks, with everything
Really?
that's
I
going
didn't know
on.
that at all.
Yeah, the HasLab stuff, the starting lineup stuff, the selfie series, they priced it out
The
at
selfie
60.
series was funny as hell, man. A lot of those faces came out, and you were like, "Wow,
Yeah, but
it's all
I
right."
think it's just bad timing, like because they had
Yeah,
all this stuff and I think they did the selfie series with 60, and then they raised it to 80, and then they went back down because they said the introductory cost
right.
would be 60 now. But all of these things happening all at once. You got backers backing out, and so like PR wise, it's like, oh God, we're just not winning right now. And so I thought that maybe today with starting lineup, they would just kind of go, and I know that there's a lot of red tape, but I thought that they would go, okay, this is the second wave that we're going to do. We're going to drop the price down a little bit,
Right.
just kind of course correct a little bit, maybe tell us where they were going because there were so many questions about it. But I don't ever think that nothing is not salvageable, but I don't know I don't know where you're going. I know they have people up top going, hey, do this.
Right.
And they're just the guys that are doing it. But I still think that there's a way they can make that work and make where it's not so much focused on card collectors and NFTs because that's what it looks like they're going for.
Yeah.
And they bring the collector in there because God, that line has so much potential. All
But
star
it's because they're all over
teams,
the place, though.
yeah,
Like you said, card collectors, toy collectors, and NFT collectors. Pick a fucking line.
yeah,
You're not making it worth my while, you know. So
yeah,
it's just, I was like, nah, man. Anyway,
yeah, but yeah,
I don't know.
nothing they can't coach yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I like my Mafex Jordan. I like my Mafex LeBron. The soft goods go a long way for me. I understand they're more expensive, but they look
Yeah,
good.
yeah, they were talking about I seen because there's a little group that started, and one of the things that got brought up was like the tattoos. One of it was there was something else, and I do have the Mafex, LeBron, and Michael Jordan,
Hmm.
and I thought that they were going to come out and have soft goods on these new figures. I know
Would
they're
be cool.
plastic. Well, that's another course correction. You could be like, okay, well, this is wave one, and we're going to try to start implementing soft goods. Just gotta, I can't imagine how much more it would be if they did it though, because it's like
They're
you're
not,
already.
now that they have those sculpts, they're going to reuse them ad nauseum.
Well, at least you
That's what
get different
Hasbro is.
characters and different
Hasbro is,
heights, right?
yeah, but it doesn't matter. They're going to be like, put the same torso on. It's all good. We just need to change the numbers in the paint. Fuck it.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It could have been like a nice little cash cow. Yeah, you could have. You've seen all these teams. They have different jerseys, away jerseys, alternate jerseys, taco night
Yeah.
jerseys. One of those guys had a taco shoe. I was like, yeah, but I don't know. Well, whatever. I got a couple.
I'm just going to wait for my Mafex Larry Bird.
I'm wondering if that'll happen.
It won't.
Yeah, probably won't. Well, that's pretty much the show. I've been
Mhm.
doing this thing where I do last call, and you just have the last part of the show. You just do whatever you want, talk about whatever you want, plug whatever you want.
Oh, I'm not plugging anything right now. If anybody has any questions, now's the time. What are we talking about? I got
Might
5
be good.
minutes and then I have to go.
5 minutes. Hit the questions. Go if you have any.
What are the
Yeah. Do
questions?
you have any projects that you're working on?
Nope. Nothing for now. I asked my father to make some school desks for me because I wanted to potentially recreate situations in which I find myself as a teacher, um, where like students are not paying attention in class, stuff like that, So now I have 5 new desks. I want to kind of put the pink skulls in the situation where they're in class or vapors in class or something like
Yeah.
that. So have a whole classroom setting where they're just kind of fucking around with paper planes and shit. So yeah, I feel like that would be really, really a fun scenario. So my father was able to make those 5 desks for me. He brought them up. They look really good. I just have to paint them, weather them, and stuff like that. And yeah, I feel like I want to kind of just kind of reflect my life a little bit, my work life in toy photography as well. So that should be fun.
Gotta find happiness, man.
Yeah.
Telling you, you have the right idea. Just kind of stay out of the internet or stay out of certain groups, man. I think
Oh
that's
well, yeah.
probably
Like starting, I think it was starting on Monday. Monday, I'm going to be going back on hiatus for pictures and things like that. I had a good little run there. I reposted for Batman. That went really well. I posted my Iron Giant shot, which I really love. That went really well. Um, what else did I post? I don't remember exactly. Oh, I reposted Wolverine, and that went really well. And then I posted Baron Benz and Nemo, and that tanked. So I was like, "All right, thanks, Instagram. I'll be off for another 2 weeks. You go fuck
when
yourselves."
you say tank, what do you mean by tank? Like in your definition of tank? Like, is it
Well,
just
I mean, it's not the same as you know, it's not the same as a regular user, right? I have 30,000 followers on Instagram, and I have 250,000 followers on TikTok. When I post a TikTok video, if anything under 10K is just not worth it. I had posted the same video that I did for Instagram, the Reels, and it got 500 views on TikTok. And I was like, what are you fucking kidding me? After 250,000 people, you're not going to show at least 10K of them.
hmm
With regards to like the Batman's, like the whole series, because of Batman Day, that had like it reached over, I think it was 60 or 70,000 people, which was good.
hmm
With the Iron Giant shot was somewhere along those lines as well. Wolverine was more around the 45,000, whereas the Baron Benz and Nemo was 3 to 4,000.
hmm
So it's kind of weird when you've got 30,000 people like that actively want to follow you. Now, obviously, there's going to be a bunch of people that don't that are no longer active, that they're just ghost accounts and things like that. People have just kind of fled from Instagram and things like that. So that's fine. But if you're not getting 10%, it's not really great. So like if you go in terms of like just plain likes, for example, before my break, I was lucky to hit 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't happen too often. Maybe I was in the 2,000 or 2,500 range, but then the Batman Day shot is now up like past 5,000. That one, the Iron Giant shot, is up past 4,000. And also Logan and Deadpool, those are past, I think it was 3,500. Nemo and Baron Benz, on the other hand, because it's so niche, Mezco doesn't do well on any page. So I'm at 1,200 for that one,
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is that had I used, say, different characters, more well-known characters, probably would have done a little bit better. But I don't care about that. I like those characters, and I thought it was funny because I made it for a specific group of people. The people that know Mezco, that know Rumble Society, are gonna go like, okay, I understand what this guy's doing.
Yeah.
So I was expecting it to tank, you know what I mean? But at the same time, just because the characters are unfamiliar, it shouldn't go that way, in my opinion. So tanked for me is probably doing extremely well for other people.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that sometimes you're like, well, I'm slowly weaning off what social media tells me is good and not good based on performance, because if I look at all the shots that I did, the Iron Giant shot and the Nemo with Baron Ben shot are shots that I just love. They're funny as hell to me. So yeah. So that's it right now. Like, I know that in order to kind of hard reset your account, you have to just kind of go away. It's the same thing. Like whenever I post a story, let's say I post a story and I haven't been online for maybe 4 or 5 days, the story itself will get like 2,000 views. Whereas if I'm on and active, I'm lucky if I get 300 views on a story. So you're like, so what you're telling me is that you don't want me here, and you're going to reward me for taking a leave of absence, so that what you're going to do is you're going to just re-inject me with the endorphins, that, oh, I can post now and I'm going to get the views that I'm supposed to get based on the account that I have.
Yeah.
But that's an easy trap to fall in. So it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So let's see. I average 30 likes at best. And it says that I have 288 singles waiting for my. Yeah, man. Just post for me to enjoy. And that's the perfect way to look at it. It's just that as a person that's extremely competitive in everything that I undertake, beating this shit algorithm is another thing for me. And it gets toxic after a while. Yes. And it's just like, I want all the contracts. I want it all. And at the same time, right now, I'm kind of working on myself not to be that guy. Like right now, it says, Corey says, will you be doing any more work with Lone Coconut? I want to. However, I don't feel, I feel like I've done what I can when it comes to that. I'll be talking with Ricky about it, with my new baby girl on the way and things like that. I want toy photography to be an escape for me. It's no longer something that I think is viable for me in terms of wanting to do it for gainful employment. I've lived through it. It's a really fun form of artistic expression, but at the same time, it can be time consuming. It's stressful. I don't like taking notes from people. I like having my creative freedom. I like it when I take a shot like the one that you're showing on screen right now, and I know full well that it's not going to do well, but that's okay because I did it for me. you know, that shot made me laugh, and that was what was important to me. I remember Leslie messaged me after, and she's like, oh, she says, shit, you know, the post didn't do well. How are you feeling? And I'm like, I don't care. It's such a funny fucking picture. And I wanted to get there. I didn't want to start like analyzing analytics again and going through it and saying, why won't they show my work? Why am I fighting this and all that stuff? So if I get opportunities to work with like Mezco again and things like that, I'll relish that. But I also like the creative freedom that I'm allowed to have when it comes to those things, because working with companies sometimes can be daunting, because you'll send in work that you've worked really hard on and they'll be like, can you fix this, and can you do that, can you fix this, and can you do that, and you know, you're like, I put that there for a reason, you know, and I understand that you're paying me to do something, you know, but it's just, I don't feel like changing it. You know.
Well, yeah, no, I understand what you mean. It's artistic compromise, and that's where that hard line.
It's their money. I totally understand.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the
but
hard part about it.
right now for me, I just want to be able to take out my things and do whatever the hell it is I want, and after that, just have any form of quote unquote success on my own terms, and have any quote unquote failures on my own terms. It's really just one of those things that I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing this for fun. I'm not supposed to be chasing clout. And for a long time, I was chasing clout, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of understand where you're coming from in the sense that I'll watch YouTube videos, and I've gotten very picky about what I watch. It's almost like a diet, because honestly, whatever you're taking in this last like 2 weeks, I really feel exemplifies that, because there's this big storm now of all this negativity, and you know I can't stand that stuff. It's just it doesn't serve any purpose, and so when you see all this destruction going on, and you're looking at it going, you know what, there's a better way that you can do this, but everybody's just hell bent on it, and then it's that car wreck. Everybody sees it, and everybody wants to look at it, and then you go, oh well, I want to be part of this, and so you're just seeing all of this stuff, and it just keeps swarming around. And so I have to really watch what I take in, because I just can't. And it's a lot of the same thing just over and over being echoed. And so, but I'll look at some of this stuff online, and you'll see it and you'll go, I don't know why this is trending. And it's because, yeah, and it is. It's just it's a lot of negative, a lot of it's hot topic stuff. And I get it. Everybody's content creator. Everybody has a reason why they're doing something, and everybody is trying to find a way to be able to get that reach. But I just look at it and I go, wow. I don't understand. I don't understand how it gets pushed to the front, and then there's other people that are spending time creating and crafting stuff.
Right.
Again, no disrespect to anybody else, but I'll look at somebody and you know, like Toy Galaxy, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of thought put into this. There's a lot of production put into this. I don't understand why this doesn't resonate more with people. Or you'll see content creators, just whoever, reviewers, anybody, and you're just like, I was looking at Trevor's stuff, and I go, I don't know why this doesn't have more views.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because quality isn't pushed out. It's just whatever the fuck people have their eyes on. And like Major Scale just pointed out, he says, I think Reels is where it's at now. And that's another thing. Like I've also buried the hatchet when it comes to my want for posts to perform came from a need for exposure, but to what end I didn't know. And so what I've done is I've contemplated about what I actually wanted to achieve. And I've come to the conclusion that I don't need to post reels. I don't need to show my behind the scenes. I don't need to do any of those things, because what I was doing is when I was taking my pictures, I was always thinking of, don't forget to do this, because it feeds whatever algorithm because they like the swipe, or
Right.
don't forget to film this so that you can have your behind the scenes and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's time consuming for me. So I'm taking the time out of my day, out of my photo shoot, to potentially feed something that's not necessarily giving me anything in return. It's taking and I'm giving.
Mm-hmm.
And the exposure that I get sometimes is good. And I mean, I should be grateful for just one like, and I am. And that's
Right.
where I'm at now. So when I say a post tanks, it tanks according to the followers that I have. But from an emotional perspective, I just am not there anymore. I don't care. And those are from long conversations that I've had with Sergeant Bananas, where he was like, I'm over this shit. I don't care anymore. I post because I like it. He says,
Yeah.
I'd rather be doing this all the time than doing something else. He said, I'd rather not be doing anything else. I just want to do that. And so now I'm like, do I really need to post a reel? I kind of don't give a fuck. I just want to post the picture because I think the picture looks good. And then if I have behind the scenes, if I take it by reflex. But there are times where I'm like, you know what? And it's like there was a photo dump that I posted this summer. I had like, I don't know, 7 or 8 pictures that I'd never posted because I was like, oh, I don't know if they're going to be good enough. People are expecting a certain standard or stuff like that. But at the same time, I feel like I'm betraying. I'm posting online exactly what it wants me to do. I'm posting this fake, like every shot that I take is great. No, I fuck up sometimes. There are days that, are shitty. And that's exactly what I was talking about with is Jacob Logs and Jake Laws the same guy? I think but that's it. I was talking to Trevor at one point and I was like, I wanted to move from being a content creator to a content creator. That's what I had said to and right now that's how I feel. I feel contented with what I'm posting. And sometimes I'll be like, when I posted the photo dump, they're not my best shots and I didn't give a shit. I was like, you know what? People need to understand that for every good picture that I take, I've taken dozens that are absolute garbage.
Yeah. That is a lot, man. That's a lot to take in.
Plasty, who takes that? That's me, man. I'm posing myself. And to an extent, I actually feel horrible doing that. However, one of the reasons I do it now is because my girlfriend loves those shots. When I'm taking a picture of me setting up, it's all fake. It's me just staging something. I'm just like, okay, the timer's on.
Oh,
hurry up.
Yeah.
Hurry up and go put yourself like you're manipulating something like that. I'm the one. I put it on a timer and I take the picture. But Leslie loves those pictures. She says it really does capture the way that you are when you're taking those shots. And she says, I love those because I can look back on those and she thinks that they're fun.
Yeah, I looked at it before and I was like, is he just putting it on a timer?
Yeah, it's a
And
timer.
is it yeah,
I take
and
4 shots so that one of them is me like static.
yeah.
So I'm acting.
Why is it doing that? I'm sorry. Yeah, keep talking. Oh, so I don't know why this is showing up like this. So it's very weird. I was going to your Instagram, but
Thanks, Z.
it's not letting me do it right. Oh, there we go.
Print and frame from one for your girl. Yeah, my wife told me, Steve, that she would love to hang the Iron Giant one in. We're going to be calling her Emma. So in Emma's room. So that would definitely be one of the ones that I'd post. But at the same time, there's part of me that wants to like, we have a bunch of Monster High dolls here, and I've never photographed anything remotely similar to like Barbie or anything like that. So I felt like maybe it would be time for me to get out like my daughter's old Monster High dolls and maybe try to photograph something like that.
Yeah.
My recent output has been fun. I've liked it.
Yeah. It's really, really like when you think about it, how much that impacts what you do too. I know a lot of guys that are taking shots and they change it around.
That picture of Wolverine and Shredder, that one did not do well at all. Okay, so 1400, I understand for some people that's great, but to me that didn't do well. However, for me, that's a fun shot. I really, really love that shot, and the reason I like it is because it shows my thought process. I at one point I was like, okay, should I have the Ninja Turtles there? Okay, so if you look at the second picture, the Ninja Turtles are there, and the first picture it's the foot soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And in order, the thought was, if Shredder is there with Wolverine and the Ninja Turtles are there, Logan would smell them,
Mm-hmm.
and there he would know that something was up. And so I can't put the Ninja Turtles there because it would fuck up the idea behind it.
Yeah.
And so I put him as an arms dealer in a sense, selling claws to the Foot Clan. And I thought that made a little bit more sense to me.
Yeah. Like
You
it's
know?
like he's he's checking out the merchandise.
Look at Carl. I got 13 likes on my last shot. Again, we're comparing apples and oranges. It's a very different account. You know what I mean? I understand. Of you posing for your wife. Oh yeah, eventually that'd be good. That one I had a lot of fun with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. God, I love
Yeah.
that shot so much. I had so much fun making that shot.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I can imagine how hard it would be to try to balance just not getting sucked into all of that and
Yeah.
then trying to keep your creative like integrity, I guess. You know, like where you don't want to be driven by what other people think or what you think will get likes.
It's
You
hard.
know, it is because I see a lot of guys that are in that because they do need that line of exposure because
I,
they
I
are relied on for whatever impact they have and
well, for
whatever
the
field
longest
they're
time
in.
I felt like I needed it too, because just put yourself in my position. I'm from Canada, I'm from Quebec. It's not this is people aren't known for this type of thing over
Hmm.
where I am. Somewhat alone. Most of the people that I talk to are going to be from like different countries and things like that. And in 2021, my account blew up. Um, People were interviewing me. I gave a conference to a graphic design institute in Las Vegas. I had a bunch of articles written about my stuff. I was trending on Reddit. I was
Hmm.
trending on TikTok and things like that. It's just one of those things where you kind of get caught up in that and you think it's going to last, right? And so you
Hmm.
kind of chase that a little bit. You know what I mean? And I understand it's just toy photography. It's not a big deal. But at the same time, I I I kind of like the attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you're like, hey, people like what I do, so I want to keep doing it. But at the same time, it's a catch-22.
Would
So
you would you say that I don't know how to say it. Would you say that unplugging was another reason why? Maybe you felt like that it was really taking over too much, or it was part of you that you were like, hey, this is getting to a point where I don't want to rely on it. So you kind of detox yourself.
yeah, it's a hard reset for me.
Hmm.
To go back to how I felt when I was started. Okay, I'm done.
That's a wrap.
But yeah, so it was just to fall back into why I like doing it and things. And I understand this is like it might sound like I'm complaining or I'm somewhat esoteric as a thing, but there's a lot of thought that goes into all this stuff. I mean, you and I both know Darius very well, and we know how hard he works and things like that. And a lot of people take that for granted, but Darius is a guy he's overworked, he's tired, he's constantly trying to put out for people and things like that. And at the same time, when you think about it, sure, to us, he's a guy who stands out. He's somewhat of a star in the community and things.
Mhm.
However, he's still alone in his apartment or his house with his wife, taking pictures of toys, doing reviews and things like that. He's not getting out and seeing people and things like that. You know what I mean? He's constantly working on his stuff.
Yeah.
So no matter how much, clout he has or how much effort he puts into his stuff, people are still clamoring for more things from him. So he gives and gives and gives and gives and gives. And he's wearing himself out. And sometimes I have to talk to him and I say, hey man, you got to take a fucking break. And he says he doesn't have the fucking time. And so I see one of my buddies just kind of, withering away a little bit. And I get a little bit nervous about that. And so I have to take that into consideration and how I feel about certain things as well. So stepping away from me, I have the luxury of stepping away. Whereas I feel like D doesn't, because he's working consistently in this hobby. He makes a living from it, whereas I don't. And so I have to kind of make sure that I refocus at times. And I feel like, stepping away is one of those things that's given me the, I feel privileged enough to step away and say, you know what, if people are there when I come back, fine. If they're not, that's also fine. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to hear about some things. Like I've heard different content creators say the same thing. It's almost like they can't even go on vacation or do anything.
Exactly.
And because they are doing this, and that's why a lot of times I'll say stuff about it, like with content creators. I don't think that they get enough credit. I know that there's this adulation part of it where people are like, oh no, he has enough people that like him, but likes don't pay bills. And so no offense to that. It's nothing against them either too, but they're working very hard. And so that's one thing I don't like. I don't like when I see somebody get on a guy's content and say, you know what, you should have done this. You should have size compared this with the plundering. It's like the person that gave you that content spent all that time to put all that stuff together, produce it for you, and give it to you. Whether they're getting AdSense or how they're generating revenue, but they did it out of their own time, and so they're doing that for you. Just say thank you. You don't have to. You don't have to dog on them and say, why didn't you do this? Or especially if they're just bringing you the information. Yeah, it's saving people money, man. I can't tell you how many figures I've not bought because those people were able to cover what they thought and I could apply it to my own decision.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we should be way more, and I'll not stop saying that. I think we should be way more. No, way more appreciative of content creators.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't have any problem saying that to anybody because I can't stand seeing that. That's my one pet peeve. That's the one thing. I don't have a lot of things that push buttons, but with me, I can't stand that. Somebody getting on somebody's video and saying something like, why didn't you do this? Or, you know what, your opinion sucks because it doesn't jive with what I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Heaven forbid that they didn't say thank you for the time, effort, production, and the setups in the photos or just the thought process. I don't get it, but whatever. Okay, thanks for suggesting the brat cars. Yeah, the brats, man. I think that's been going around for everybody.
Man, that's a conversation for another time. Apparently, my folks are falling asleep on the couch.
Like,
so I gotta be careful. Gotta
be
careful.
Man. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man.
I don't think there's anybody else I would have wanted to done this with. So thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks to everybody. I'll be back shortly. But for now, it's gonna be goodbye for a little bit because I got shit to take care of.
No, that's good, man. Yeah, and congratulations. And
thanks.
I'll definitely be keeping up with you, little baby.
Yes, she's gonna be so cool. I can't wait to meet her, man. It's gonna be so much fun.
So it is a she. She is a she.
A little girl.
Nice.
Yeah, I can hear my parents at the door. They want it.
All right, bro. Again, thank you very much. Thank you for everybody coming on. I appreciate everyone. This is great. You guys take care. Remember, they're just toys. Have fun.
All right.
See, they're more enthusiastic, right? They're just toys. Just have fun.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much. I'll take care. See you soon.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Guys.